Tyrone E. Wilson here, ready to have tonight's panel on Ep06 of Ready to Love Philly, titled The Nudist. We do have some panelists coming tonight, but we all have lives, we are all busy. So when they do come, I'll be sure to bring them all to the stage. I want to thank you all for coming out. We're going to discuss last Friday's episode, which was the second part of, I believe it was the cliffhanger from the previous week. So it is the second half of the it is the second half of the block party. What's going on, Lex? How you
Hey,
doing?
Sarah. I'm good. How are
Hey,
you?
hey. I'm good. I'm good. So I'm just going through the intros. It is the second half of the block party. There was supposed to be two dates, right? So it was a double elimination, but it ended up being three different dates. So we had Jay and Rocky, we had Sahara and Cam, and then we had Eddie and Coley. And um, I do have my thoughts on it. Um, I'm a lot higher on Sahara than y'all are. Um, I think she could even be the star of the show. Right now, they're definitely putting her in a place to where she is filling up some space really well. We've seen cast members in the past.
Sorry, I'm always
Uh,
touching stuff.
no, it's fine. We've seen some cast members in the past that they kind of use as, I don't want to call it filler because they were solid daters. Like who was one person? Anthony, I thought from the Miami season was really, really solid, and I felt like whenever they needed a solid date, then he would do pretty well. Um, I think that the Jay and Rocky date went as expected, just like we thought last week, right? Like it was going to be really quick. I think she even admitted to having a feeling that she was going to get eliminated. She took it well. Uh, Lex, I think you mentioned that she changed some of her style. It's not the blonde anymore. She did post some pictures and all that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah. So when anyone gets eliminated, I always have the same feeling and words of encouragement to them. It's never easy getting eliminated because you're just fighting. Um, you end up fighting a lot of internal questions about yourself. So shout out to anyone who's gotten eliminated this week. I think the one good thing is that you get to speak your part now, and you get to do interviews now. And just to let you know, the interviews are a way to show the world the real you, no matter what happened on screen. P.O., what's good? Can you hear us? All right, he there. Just in the background. You got any thoughts on the second half of the block party and the elimination dates, Lex?
No,
No.
I think no, I mean, I think
We
Rocky, I still can't grasp Raquel, her part. You know what I mean? Like, she looked, she looked like she just walked in off the street. She looked like, I thought I'm hearing an echo. Is that me?
Yeah, I think you got your radio up. The speakers up.
Maybe I'm streaming somewhere else. So
Hmm.
sorry. let me close that door. All right, how about now?
Yeah, you good.
Okay. Yeah. So I feel like she just walked in off the street. Like they needed a person. They just rushed her in because she never looked put together. And I feel like after the first two episodes, first 2 weeks, that should have been a time for you to be like, you know what? This shit is real. I'm on TV. I mean, how did you expect the men to take you? So when you want to say that you were sad to leave, like, were you really though? Cause I ain't
So let
gonna lie, like a lot of times y'all see me, right, where I ain't gonna lie, I'll just throw some hair on, I'll just do something, but I know with like I do that intentionally. Like a lot of times it's like I don't want to be bothered. I don't want nobody in my face. So, maybe if they see me looking bad, then nobody will say anything. I mean, I'm not like that on TV though. You know
You're
what I'm
echoing
saying?
again.
I don't know what that
so
is. I'm on a
so
new phone.
let me chime in on that a little bit. Can you
That
guys
might be
hear me?
PO's mic too,
Oh no,
not
because I had
necessarily yours.
I had me muted. I was muted for a while. Um, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you need us to
Yeah,
send
we
some
got
rope.
you.
No.
You probably just got to turn your speakers down, Lex.
Me?
Okay.
Oh, okay. No, I was gonna say, as far as Raquel, I feel like this here. They have a show to sell. They have a deadline that they got to meet with the cast, and I honestly think that the people that tried to get on that show couldn't pass the background, and so they said, you know what? And no shade to her, but they probably had a good roster of people that could pass background checks, and they decided to move on with the show. Um, in terms of, I mean, I'll tell you this. I think Raquel probably would be somebody that I would hang out with and have drinks and cut up with. I don't think that she gave anybody a romantic side of her or whatever. And I mean, sometimes that's hard to do when you come in and you're trying to, uh, show people so much in so little time. It's hard to really make yourself appear to be romantic in certain situations. And I think everybody just capped her off as the homie. Um, but if you get if everybody's pegging you as the homie, you ain't gonna dress like you trying to be with somebody because everybody's just saying, "Oh, you cool." So, you know, like I can sit across from somebody that knows that I'm not gonna try to smash, and they can come as any old type of way they feel like because they know ain't nothing happening. You feel what I'm saying? So, that was probably her attitude. Like, well, you know what? They not feeling me like that, so I'm here. I'm here for the drinks. I'm here for the food and the camaraderie.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone's entitled to their opinion, right? I think she still made the top 10 list to be on the show. Even the people that quote unquote look great aren't doing so great on the show.
Yeah,
And it's tough, right? Like we aren't for everyone. And I wouldn't say she got the best looks. They did catch her in some angles that just weren't appealing. But it happens sometimes. It
yeah,
happens. It
yeah. No,
happens.
no doubt. And then let me just say this real quick. I know this is way off the subject, but I want to apologize to everybody because I don't have my camera on because I'm in traffic and I don't do I can't drive like Lex. You know, she be driving
For
going
hours.
100 miles down the road, and be on it. And you know what I mean? I can't do that. And I'm in a sports car right now, so I definitely can't do that.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so there's that. I'm almost at the spot though. So
No, that's cool.
yeah,
Jay
But you be
Jay
safe.
handled it well.
yeah,
Um, you know, shot kudos to Jay for handling it well. It's never easy to eliminate someone, but he did a good job, and Rocky took it well as well.
right.
And I hope she's doing great right now, and I hope everyone that got eliminated was able to learn something about themselves. Because I tell you what, we're starting to see a lot of their unhealed subconscious demons coming out in this episode and in the last episode as well.
Right.
So you could clearly see why a lot of these people are single.
Now, can I say something? Um, in this whole elimination thing, I'm gonna say Sahara, man, you so daggone hard headed. She's so hard headed. I mean, she's so like stuck. Like, look, I'm gonna do me, and that's just that. And I feel people, you know, what I mean, if that's how you are, that's how you are. Um, but I feel like she shouldn't have to put up so much resistance to understand, where people are coming from, because that's how you learn about yourself. Even though it's like stuff like that is hard to hear, especially when you feel like, nah, man, I got this. I don't know what you're talking about. And it is hard to hear when you're in your own body and somebody else is telling you about something that's not favorable. But I think that she has to. That's one of the things I think a lessons learned, that she could learn more about herself and just try to work on that part, because that's how good people become great people, by accepting feedback from other folks around you, and kind of tapping into that to try to be a little bit better.
I listened to that audio
Hmm.
again multiple times. And you got to remember, that's what her third or fourth time being there.
Yeah, I've been there before.
And also, the person that is that she's on a date with is the
Uh huh.
person she's got the strongest connection with. So
Yeah,
a
I know.
lot of it is not making sense to her, but he's still asking her to just sit there and take it and listen to him. And
Right.
if you listen to it, the very first thing that she said was, okay.
Hmm.
She accepted
Right.
it and they was going to move on. But
Hmm.
then something with the audio is off, and it ends up turning into an argument, and
Right.
it turns out being about him. And in my notes I was like, how the hell did they end up arguing
Right.
when they both don't seem to understand what each other is saying? I feel like Cam is trying to set her up, kind of like a softball pitch. Like, I'm here, we're giving you an opportunity to show the world why I like you.
Uh huh.
But the fact that she's just sitting at the table again on the chopping block is just really, really frustrating. Where it could be a real date as
And
opposed
I'm
to
sorry. Go
an
ahead. Yeah.
elimination date. Because that don't make it didn't even make no sense to me why she was the third
Right.
date again.
Right. Well, I know what that is. I already know what that is, because, and I'll tell you this, Ty, and she may have experienced this. Um, so like, being on there, sometimes they put you in that bubble date situation, even though it has nothing to do with you, and then the people in the men's lounge or the ladies lounge, um, or I'm sorry, in this particular case, the men's lounge. The people in the men's lounge probably did not vote her in that space. And then what they do is they make you say those names, and then of course they edit it the way that they want you to hear it. So if they want you to hear Sahara's name 4 times, they'll sit there and say, who else? Who else? Who else? Until you get to Sahara. And then they throw her name on there. But meanwhile, being as though Cam, now when you go, I don't know if you have to tell somebody they wasn't ready to love, but when you have to tell them that, they give you the message like, okay, you're going to tell her that she's ready to love. And then the other person, everybody knows who's dropping the hammer and who's not. You know what I mean? So Cam probably was like, yo, man, they want me to take you out, just go along with this shit. You good, you know what I mean? You ain't going, we not letting you go. I was fighting for you in the men's lounge, blah, blah, blah. That type shit.
Well, like you're so they tell you at the end, right? You don't know the night before. So
What
I
do you
did
mean?
have an elimination date with Courtney. So you show up to the date, and then right as you get to the date, that's when they finally say like if it's a go or a no go.
Not true. Not true.
Well, that's
Because
how mine was. Like
yeah, and
they're not
so
gonna.
listen.
Are you saying they tell you the night before?
No, not the night
Yeah.
before. So when
Yeah.
you leave the men's lounge, right? They tell you, they say, okay, you three people stay behind, everybody else
Mm-hmm.
gets to go. And then they
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, Tyrone, you're gonna be the one that's gonna drop the hammer. Now, when you get in your ride on your way, you text me like, yo, P, they gonna make me drop that shit. So I'm like, okay, well, I know I have a date with Sahara, right? So I'm gonna send Sahara a message like, yo, damn, they get ready to cut somebody. It ain't gonna be you, but they got us going out on this date. And everybody knows when you go on that
Mm-mm.
date after the lounge and whatever, that it's some bull crap and somebody's going home. And so she probably is like, yo, why the hell do they keep putting me on these stupid ass dates when they know that I'm not the one going home? That's her
Nah,
frustration.
I
I'm
think she
telling
would have. I think she's smart enough to handle it differently if she know that she ain't going home. I don't think that's it
Ty, okay,
at all.
let me tell you this.
Uh
Let me
huh.
tell you this from a seasoned person who was in that same position 3, 4 times, right? Every single time I went on these dates, I knew that it wasn't going down. I knew that I was, and as a matter of fact, there was one person that they were supposed to eliminate or be on a bubble date, but they wanted him, that particular person, to appear, a little bit better, on TV. So they made me go in and take his place because the women wanted his ass out of there, and they was like, oh, they was, oh, we still want to. So I know how that goes. So she probably was like, why don't you just get the people that really need to be here? Why are you calling me?
Yeah, I
So
didn't.
we,
I definitely didn't take it that way.
yeah, no, I would love to have a conversation with her after the show, and and see what the hell that was all about. Because like I said, I feel like she's gonna go to the end, only because they're showing you so much flaw from her. They're making everything look bad, like, and they're gonna probably make her look like she done turned everything around and took everybody's advice, and now she's just great, when she was who she was from the beginning.
Yeah, I'm definitely reading it differently. I think she's almost carrying the whole thing. If you ask me.
Carrying the whole
Carrying
show.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. She
Yeah.
is. I mean, but everybody, that's what I'm saying. They need somebody because this, unfortunately, I mean, and I'm not no shade to the cast, but this is one of the most boring groups of people that I've seen on this franchise. And I'm not saying that, individually that they're boring people. But what I'm saying is that the mixture and the things that they have these people doing is boring. You know what I mean? Like it's just a boring chemistry.
Yeah, they're
Is
just
that
go ahead.
sorry? Is that what it is, or are we just used to seeing drama? Like we've seen brotherly love, we've seen the women, kind of make room and space for each other. So we're not really seeing any attack on the same sex. So is that like, I mean, is that where we are as a people, where it's like without the drama, without the fights and the jealousy and cat fights and stuff, then the show was going to be boring?
Nah,
I
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ty.
I think there's a group of people that casted the women and there's a group of people that casted the men, but nobody really checked for compatibility. Like nobody
Well,
really
But
checked
wouldn't
to
that would be cheating?
no, they I think they do
nah, so
that. I think they do that because when you go, before the show starts, they ask you what type of woman you're looking for, and what type of men you're looking for before they even, finalize the cast. So they probably said, "Oh, good, we got this person, that person, and they got people on there that they know damn well ain't gonna like each other, and then they throw those people on dates and stuff, you know."
I mean, in all honesty, I can't see why none of these people are getting together. I think the only thing is that everybody's just in their bag. And what I mean by that is everybody thinks like I don't know, it's just weird. Like you got this new girl, you know what I mean? She kissing one dude and she get naked in another. So it's almost like, you know, let me get my time. Like I need my camera time. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting. I don't really get that from Sahara. You know, Sahara, I don't even know what's up with her because she's not even using situational awareness. Like, so you know that the men are gonna come to the elimination date. So okay, yeah, you have a connection with Cam, but you should know that that's a part of the game. It's a part of the process that you're gonna come, and that by this time you know what I mean. Like take two people and they leave with one. So I mean, what are we saying? Like all that kickback and all of that. Like I don't know. Are you trying to let us know? Like I don't know. It's just weird. But I ain't
Because
gonna lie. You said that they should have had compatibility. I would have never thought Cam and Sahara was compatible, but apparently.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I don't know. And I think Tay and her guy, they seem compatible. It's just that he throw you in his bag and he got his story out. Like, oh, I'm homeless, you know, whatever the case may be. I think he's trying to build on what's after this, you know, so that's why it became a thing. I don't know. It's weird, but I hate to say that it's a boring thing because to me, I really did think that it kind of was giving me close to like season one, season two, where they actually had dates. It actually was good. It wasn't any drama. So it's like I don't know.
so
It's
so
just weird. But I
so
guess you know I like to see love and relationships, and I like to see people dating and working it out. You know,
so do
I'm
I.
not for
But
a whole lot of drama. I mean,
what?
does it make it more interesting? I guess so. But
Right. So I'm not a proponent of the drama either, right? At all. But
mm,
let me say this. What's happening is that it's not that these people aren't interesting alone. It's not that these folks are uh, boring people. Let's just say that. But what I'm saying is that the types of scenarios that they're comprising, there's no story to this. There's no way to follow who's doing what. Like, there's no way that, I mean, you see some connection, but everything seems really surface level. There is no, meat to this stuff. It's all veggie, right? And so if when I look at the Houston season, there was storylines with the Houston season. You saw people, or Atlanta, or no, scratch Atlanta. Um, or maybe the second season in Atlanta, there was some decent storyline to that. There was, you know, Houston. You started seeing real storylines and meaningful relationships and intentionality and stuff like that. However, um, I mean, and even in the first Miami, um, with Mike and all the rest of them people, you saw these connections and you seen people kind of, coming together and, you started to see kind of a storyline appear. Like right now, I don't know what the hell is what. Like my man, Naim, who's his connection? I mean, he's made some good connections, but I didn't see anything get deep, right? And I mean, I'm looking at this brother like, okay, he seems like a good
I just
dude.
think
Like, huh? I'm saying like
I
he
just
seems like
think
a.
that's
I'm sorry. Go
who.
ahead. No, Naeem. I think
No,
he's like a good guy, but I'm not seeing him. I'm not seeing those types of things happening with women. I've seen drama situations with the women, but I'm not seeing these guys like really. I don't know. It's just like it's missing something. Like it's like you know, It's like you're having, yeah.
The
is
compatibility
it
levels
missing?
need to be closer to each other. But when you
Yeah.
have a different levels of attractiveness, different levels of financial background, demographics with the kids, that it ends up turning into less options for everyone. And what you want is you want to have
Matched
70%
energy.
of the people be
Mm-hmm.
attracted to 70% of the people,
Right.
not one person clearly only being attracted to two people,
Right.
right? And it seems to be that way for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not, it's because the person that they were attracted to is gone. So now they're
Right.
moving on, trying to build a connection with someone else. Like the best seasons, I think, is when you get a lot of people that are attracted to a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people,
Right.
and it's working.
Yeah.
And that's where the fun is coming in, because the audience doesn't know who is compatible with who, because everything works, for the most part.
Right.
And then I also like the fact that the cast gets into trouble because there's so many options for each
Right.
other. And then you really gotta finagle this whole dating life and being on camera and watching what you say. Like, I would prefer drama like that as opposed to just the petty stuff.
Right.
Let the audience figure out who is gonna end up with who. Like, that's where the real cliffhanger should be. Us
Yeah.
thinking like this person could be with any one of these five people.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't see anything that tells me that I need to be glued to the TV for next week.
Do you think that's why they split it?
No, I think that
Nah, I think
I
they
think
just
they
don't
split it.
have no content.
I
They
was
don't
gonna
have a lot
say
of content.
I think they split. I think they split it because of this. Let's just be totally transparent. Ready to Love was in trouble. They was in trouble before this season. They took a hiatus because they didn't understand or know if they where they stood in terms of the network. And the network probably said, look, we need these types of numbers. And they probably said, okay. And then what they did was they saw that those numbers wasn't loading up this particular time around. And so they probably had to take some time off to go back to the editing bay and create some more, uh,
Yeah.
situational stuff.
Let's throw this date of Sahara in there.
Yeah, exactly. Or
Yeah.
some, or some sort. Because let's be clear, to take a 3 month hiatus in the middle of a season that's not given too much is easily able to be forgotten about. And that's a very, very risk. And for me, that's very, very risky. And I feel like for me, this is signaling that this franchise is definitely doomed. So like I know they did film one in Detroit as well, and I feel like that one is going to come out on Zeus.
Ah, ah!
Right.
I wouldn't say all that. I mean, I just feel like they had a good thing going, and somehow I think the cliffhangers and the rearranging of the structure threw a lot of the people off. And the fact that, towards the end when it started to come to the couples, they wasn't really getting a lot of matches and a lot of success in the
Hmm.
couples.
Right.
And then when it was time to decide, it just felt like the reasons that they weren't connecting just didn't feel genuine.
Right.
You know, it didn't feel genuine. But let's save a little bit of that for later. We got this last elimination date with Eddie and Coley to talk about. which was funny because you would think that them two would be the most compatible with each other, and they end up
Why?
going on a date. They are both aesthetically pleasing. I'll say that, right? They would be in everyone's top three. How about that? Okay. So, but when he says that you're not ready to love, like it's almost like he said it in the form of a question, which was weird. It was weird.
I know what
And
that was.
yeah, it was like
What?
it just seemed like the audio edits for all of the dates were just off and pieced together. It seemed like what they did was they transferred the audio to text. They got one of those programs where you could transfer the audio to text, and then they
Deep
just
fake.
grabbing the text from all of these different places to create a conversation.
Right.
So the
And
audio is off.
yeah, and let's be clear, they haven't when you're done with your scene every day, they're transcribed and they know
Yeah.
every word you said out of your mouth verbatim. So they have a computer program where they can say, make these sentences with these words from this audio.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah. So when he says like, "I'm always gonna be me," I gave you the real me.
Hmm.
Like it
Out of
doesn't.
place.
Yeah, it
Way out
doesn't
of place for
sit
no reason.
well in her elimination date. Like,
Right.
why we talk about him?
Right.
That's what she should be saying.
Yep.
So,
Mm,
but yeah, yeah. So she said, you know, she gave it her best, wasn't appreciated. So she'll find a man that will appreciate it.
I'm not gonna lie. And you know what? I ain't gonna lie to you. The fact that I have now put myself out there and going on the show, it makes me want to hold back things more. But that's not really me. So since they being them, I gotta be me. I hate to hear Coley talk. I don't know what it is. It's like a crying, like, I don't know what it is, but oh my goodness. And I've never even had that before, but I'm just not, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the editing. God forgive me, but her voice is annoying as hell. So even though she might be pretty, they might be thinking, I don't want that shit in my ear all the time. Am I wrong? Like her voice don't bother y'all?
They would take it if it was gonna sell the show.
No,
But
I'm talking about personally as a man. Your girl sound like that. You don't feel no type of like she sound perfectly fine to you.
I'm not saying that. But I try to take the emotion out of it. You
What
know,
emotion? That's my
it's other
eardrum.
people got it's got other people got annoying voices. But I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
I'm just saying. But
Uh,
go ahead. What happened?
no, I was thinking about my comment about what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Oh, I did not see them making a match. I don't know. Maybe Eddie isn't really. What were you calling them? Like lazy lions or something? Something like Eddie.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, Eddie didn't seem to be going after anybody, but he
Well,
definitely didn't seem attracted to her either.
so I can tell you some things like as a man, what I saw from her at the block party would have probably turned me off.
Right.
You know, it would have probably turned me off. Like me in public, you on TV, like let's just calm it down a little bit. A little bit. I asked if she was tipsy or drunk, um, but it would have
She
turned me off.
she said yes, she was.
Yeah, it would have turned me off. So maybe that could have been it. Um, but I feel like once he didn't kiss her in public, and then they had that date afterwards, she might have been done with him anyway.
But if we go back to earlier when I forgot who sent them together. Like, oh, you need to go talk to Eddie. When they finally got everybody
It was
together.
either Angie or True. It was Angie or True that said
Right.
you two need to be with the tall, beautiful people.
Oh yeah, I think it was True. Right.
Mhm.
So even in that instance, when she came and she talked to him, I didn't see Eddie giving her any eyes like, oh yeah, she attracted. Oh damn, like you know what I mean. I didn't get that from him either at that time.
So I think he definitely noticed her, but I also feel like Eddie's person wasn't there.
Yeah, because she's at his house because they live together.
Yeah, I felt like his person wasn't there. I felt like I think he was on cruise control. You
He was
could tell
on.
when a guy likes someone. I think he was
Hold on,
on
Right.
I
hold
think he
on,
was on
hold
cruise control. Yeah.
hold on. You said his person wasn't there because he was at the house because he was there.
She's
Yeah,
at
you
home.
about
They
to
they
say.
said Eddie lives with his kid's mom
Wow.
during tape. I mean, when the interviews come out, I'm sure y'all gonna hear it. And I
Hmm.
mean, it came out in the group, but what you gonna do?
Yeah. So then I was gonna say something about you, Lex. I feel like I'm very interested to see how you are gonna respond once you see your edits. Because I
You
think you probably have a vision for how it went for you, you know? Probably have a positive vision. You'd be like, I did good. I probably have some stuff here and there. But once they chop up your conversation, you're going to be like, nah. Like I said that, but I didn't say it like that. That's not how I meant it. I mean, I did say it, but that's not the way it came out in that order. And a lot
know,
of that is happening here.
you know what? It was a different concept, but um, I
Okay.
don't know. But I don't have
Okay.
hope. Like I'm not. I'm just interested to see what they do with me.
Hmm.
But I'm not like, oh, I did good or positive or whatever.
Hmm.
I'm just
So, go ahead.
no, that's it.
Everyone in the comments, let me know how y'all feel about these 3 elimination dates. And if you feel the right 2 ladies were eliminated, I'd like to know what y'all think.
I'm really I'm not gonna lie though, I'm kinda disappointed about the split. But I wasn't that hopeful for Philadelphia anyway. Like to me, I feel like that was stupid. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna go out with a bang, I felt like Chicago should have been on the map and instead of Detroit, it should have been Charlotte. You know what I mean? Like if we're gonna see some places, it should have been those two places.
Hmm.
Like coming to Philly, I already knew Philly was going to be whack. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, I mean, I'm
Hmm.
here. Like I don't even
Hmm.
date Philly dudes, so I already know. It
Hmm.
wasn't, and I'm surprised they didn't get more Philly Muslims with the. I just, I'm surprised.
Hmm.
I'm surprised they got what they got. So I really was like, damn, like where did they fly them in from? Because
Hmm.
you don't see them now. Jay, you find people like Jay, like that's nothing. That's why I'm surprised so many people like Jay. But then I was thinking too, I'm like, you know what? A lot of times I notice that you have people that are city fly. And what that means is that it might work in your city. But that don't necessarily mean it's gonna work anywhere else. You know what I mean? So I think like those girls might be used to the look that Jay was giving because it wasn't giving for me, you know? But I think they're used to it. So in their mind, they like, oh, well, he's tall. From my understanding, he's supposed to be on the taller side. And then I guess people might like the dark skin. So, they kind of went off of it from there. But I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I was confused by casting, but they surprised me. They caught my attention. You know, so I'm kind of like, damn. Now they took the split. That's really like, should you even really come back?
Hmm. Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, what's going on, Pio?
What up?
Let's
What up?
talk about this lady's fault. So I only took a few notes because it was quick. I mentioned that Sahara was upset in the vault, definitely a little pissed off. Tay mentioned that Cisco and Khalil were, I don't know if she mentioned that it was her top two guys, but she definitely mentioned Cisco and Khalil, but ends up taking out Naim. And then, as I mentioned before, a lot of it started to come out about their, I guess you could call it their subconscious pitfalls, right? Maybe a little bit of immaturity, lack of healing, whatever you want to call it, not understanding their dating style, apology, acceptance style, and all that. But even Tommy said, you know, you're single because you consistently date guys that are not a good match for you. And out of all the things to say, I think that kind of struck me why they put that in there. But you know, we'll see. Any thoughts on the ladies' lounge or the ladies' vault?
dude, I
Not
actually
from
had a
here.
thought, and it kind of fell out my head. Huh? Yeah, I don't know. You kind of, I can't remember. Go ahead.
All right then.
It
So
this wait, the ladies'
mhm.
vault. This is where she found out. This is the one where she
No, no,
found
no,
out.
no. This is the first one. This is the first one. Then there's all getting together, saying that um, we're gonna go on dates, but take out your second option, which
Okay,
I don't understand. I don't understand it. I don't understand why they don't let you take out your very first option and then see if your second option is better than your first option.
I don't
But
know.
That don't make sense
Todd,
to me.
they don't even let you pick that. They
I
pick
know,
it for you.
man. I know. I
So
know.
how is that your second one?
I know. All right. So, very first couple of dates, the very first one was Dianna and Hussein.
That was
And
horrible. She says that she. Oh, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
She's saying that she's getting edited to come off a certain way, but I think that's her. Like, I mean, I don't know. I think like how you guys say, like when you listen to the words might not match things, but to me, you can always kind of see where she kind of takes on like a man role. Like it feel like she puffed up a little bit. Like when she was talking to Cam, she kind of like it's funny. You could just see it. Like she just kind of got swole a little bit, and she like, oh well, I'll be schooling and whatever, whatever. And then it was kind of like, yeah, like and she sunned them. And then to me, it's like she give you a chance. She let you in the door a little bit, and one little thing is, whoop, and then she kind of swell up a little bit again. And I feel like that's how she did your guy. She wasn't as rude, but I feel like she's looking for something, and if you don't get it, she just switch off. Like you see that too, or am I tripping?
It
Um,
definitely make her look rigid.
I think it's very clear if she don't like you, and I think she struggles to get through the dates with people she don't like. Um, and you could tell. I think she assesses people really quickly.
Hey Todd,
And
who does she like?
Huh?
Who does she like?
I don't know.
I don't think she
I'm
like
trying to
anybody.
think. It'll come to me, but
Bingo.
I don't know. maybe Cisco.
You know what? I'm gonna
Maybe
be honest
Cisco.
with you, Cisco.
So here's some of my notes. Right, she mentioned that Khalil's her top connection, but Hussein's height caught her attention, and then I put like she was clowning him for riding a little horse, even though she picked the big one. And one of her deal breakers was that she don't like people that are non-communicative.
I think she's
We're
looking
gonna
for an
get
alpha.
to,
What's fun? What? I think
um
she's looking for an alpha, and I think she expected Hussein to kind of check her and be like, "Nah, I ain't riding that little horse," but he didn't. He kind of gave into her, and I think that's where she kind of lost him. You know, to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't think she's going to end up in a relationship, but if she is going to let anybody hit, I think she might let Naim hit if it was going to be like that, because I think Naim, as far as like alpha mentality, he's quiet, but he's the only one that I see that'll have it, that'll probably make her feel. The only thing is that maybe body wise, like you know, the height and all that stuff, that might be the only thing. But if anybody was supposed to get her, it would be Naim.
if you want my guess, this is my guess. I think there was one person, maybe two, but I think there was maybe one person that worked for her in the past. And I feel like she keeps comparing everyone to that one person. And since
Somebody
he's
that was on
not
the show.
him, it's not gonna. I don't know who that person was in the past
Oh,
for her in a past relationship. I don't know how it ended, but I just feel like she's trying to recreate that, because she starts to get awfully specific in the kind of guy that she wants, but then it ends up changing. But what doesn't change is how she reacts to someone she doesn't like. So she
she does.
mentioned that non-communication is a deal breaker, but then during the conversation, she shows an inability to communicate. And that date went off the rails, but I liked the way that Hussein stuck to his guns. I liked the way that he had boundaries. He discussed them and tried to talk her through his boundaries. It wasn't working. And so it ended. And even that audio on that date was probably the worst. It was probably the worst because I know that wasn't their entire conversation. It couldn't have been. It was just too abrupt. And it
It
doesn't
sounds
seem
like.
like that's the type of person Hussein is.
Oh, I thought he got fed up and he just deaded her. Like I
Well,
feel. I mean,
mhm.
the only thing, right, is like I don't know. I don't know if I'm just over analyzing or whatever, but to me that would be like a silly thing. Like I think that she was just giving him too much, and then he didn't come out of character. He didn't let her take him out of character, but I think he was just like, this ain't it. Like he kind of, I feel like, that's where his manhood came in. Where before he was kind of passive, and he like, okay, you want, the big horse, and okay, and all right, and you gonna say what you gonna say, and okay, okay, okay. But then when it got down to it, it was like, nah, this ain't it.
Yeah, like I said, I think the audio was off. The whole conversation is off. The way that I read it, it was two different conversations. I felt like she took offense to he, how she perceived he was talking about her profession, which is obviously very personal to her, right? It means a lot to her.
It sounded
But
like hyper independent.
I don't think he was even trying to say it like that. I think he was just trying to say you could still find a way to communicate with me. Like, how are you going to tell me that you can't communicate with me at work?
Right. And I've
Like your
dated
schedule,
firemen.
yeah. And so your schedule is off, right? I would imagine her schedule is long, right? She may not even come home some nights, and I
No,
don't know nothing.
firemen go 4 days on, 4 days off.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can go to the firehouse and have a meal because a lot of times they cook meals together. They be busting
Mm-hmm.
it up. There's plenty of times I done sat in the firehouse. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of time. There's a lot that you can do. She got time. And then on top of it, she said that she's a teacher. So if she's teaching, she's not teaching 9, 10 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? So if she wanted to, she would make a way. She's just
Yeah.
trying to. I think that was just a nice way to say, hey, don't look for me every day and don't stress me out because I'm gonna put it on my job. Because I think a lot of people make allowances. Like if you hear you dating a police officer, you be like, oh, I know he kind of stressed out, so I'm not gonna bother him right now. Or I know he need his sleep because he's a fireman. You know what I mean? So I feel like the same way women would do that, I think that that's what she wanted the men to do too. Like to just give her certain outs and oh, you a fireman, so I know you hella busy and I know I ain't gonna hear from you and you know what I mean? And then she didn't get that and then she offered it. Like, well, you're not gonna hear from me. She just don't want to. She's not interested.
Yeah. If she wanted to, she'd make her time. That's all it is.
Right. To be honest with you, when you guys first said that it was kind of boring, I'm like, no. But now that I'm kind of sitting down talking about this whole thing, it's feeling kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah, I think she would make time. Right, Paul? Like, Paul, how would you feel if someone that you're dating told you that, man, it almost sounded like she ain't just either can't make the time or won't make the time because the job is important. And I'm not taking away from the importance of your job, but imagine if it's the other way around and I told you that I can't communicate with you while I'm at work.
I wouldn't feel shit because her ass will be gone. Period. Because my thing is, how the hell you gonna talk to me like that's to me that's just reckless. Number one, like you're not gonna sit there and angle your job as a way to f me over, as a way to circumvent having meaningful time or whatever. So like you try to pull that stuff and then blame it on your job. It'd be like, nah. It's just like if I worked in a club, right? And all these women are coming up to me and all this other stuff and I'm like, yeah, I'll text you this and that, whatever. And I'm like, oh no, this is just my job. This is what I do. I keep people up to speed on what's going on at these clubs or whatever. They not having that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
At some point, you gotta go to the bathroom. You can text
Right.
me or something while you're in the bathroom. Something.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
So I put what did I say? I said it seemed like a bad audio edit again, and that could have been an email. That's what I put in my notes because the way that it ended so abruptly, when I know that wasn't the entire conversation.
so
Yeah.
so when you say bad audio, is that like are we to blame the like the producers and the editing team? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is when I say it's a bad audio edit, because I have video editing software, right? I really honestly I can't say too much because but
You the feds?
no, but then I'm also listening to it in my ear. I can see each and every frame. I can freeze frame. I can take background music out. I can do voice isolation. I could do voice to text. I can enhance things. I can do a lot with the software. And sometimes, well, a lot of the times, you could tell that even the background noise in each sentence is different.
Yeah.
I want you to do that for myself.
So
Like the timing is off.
now check this out. Being as I'm an audio engineer,
Like
right?
you can't fake me out with all the background music. You know,
Had,
they
had,
try to drown it out.
now let me just ask you this, Lex, and you might have, heard this before, whatever. But did they ever say to you, we need 30 seconds of call to of room tone? Did they ever
Yes.
say, okay, so that room tone is so that they can play that sound that's in that background of that room, and then they can put your words that you said in different environments over top of that room tone so that it sounds like you said it in that moment.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is really interesting. I'm for real. That's one of the reasons why I even went on it, because like I just really wanted to see and experience, and then even I did that, and it's like I'm still learning from y'all. It's like it's still
Yeah.
crazy. So let me ask you something. I know you said that people get to tell their real story in the interviews and things of that nature. Is that even really necessary? Like, here it is. You have this video that is out here for history. You know what I mean? Like, is it really necessary to clean up your act or clean up your name or whatever?
So I'll say this. You doing that is doing absolutely nothing but for the small group of people that's going to listen to you, because typically the network is the machine. So they
Right.
control, the narrative amongst millions and millions of people. And by you giving a small story or statement or a side interview, that only allows you to get your stuff across maybe 40 to 100,000 people, maybe max, which is
Mhm.
maybe 1% of the viewership. And so at the end of the day, though you may have given an effort and you do want people to see you in their positive light and the light that you feel like you portrayed yourself in, the network is the machine over that, which is the reason why they have you sign the contract, because they want to be able to manipulate everything about you and display you in the way that they want you to, so it doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I feel like, especially from me watching it from my standpoint, my perspective of the group, like take for instance, like Denise. Me and Denise have been cool since her season, and they kind of, I guess Denise's character was the villain, and she did win over a lot of people in the group because we used to go live weekly, and she won over some people. She did. I can't say that much when they got to really see who she was. But for the most part, and people who didn't catch her lives and stuff like that, they still come on and they still bash and they still complain and they still bring up that same thing. Same thing for Camille. Anybody who they painted as the villain, you were going to constantly be the villain for the rest of the time. It doesn't matter what interview you do or whatever the case may be, especially if the person doesn't see it, you know. So for me, I just look at it like it's just TV, and I just move on and I forget it. But a lot of these people are holding grudges, and it is really, really crazy, So, but it's just
It
wild.
I mean, one thing that kills me about all of that is that you would think that you personally did something to these people that are
Mhm.
watching it. They get mad at you. And for me, I looked at it like, okay, you're invested in the show. That's what's up. Or, when it was my turn, y'all was invested in my journey. I appreciate that, good, bad, or ugly. But it's like, why are you constantly keeping these people on your personal radar to attack them like like they was your neighbor and they didn't give you no sugar?
Yeah. Yeah, you could get bad at it. My approach, when I did it was I wasn't just trying to explain myself. I was just being, my authentic self. And then the more they got to see that, then that's when things change. Because I would meet people and they would say, "You're a lot different in person." And I would be like, "I know."
So you
I
think you got a
know.
bad at it?
Um, some parts. Some parts they try to make me look uh what's a good word? Unstable, I guess. So yeah.
And
What
they,
up,
and
Phil?
they'll and they'll use any opportunity to do that. What up, bro?
Yeah. I mentioned my time in the military and
What up?
PTSD and talked about it on a date, and now I'm
That dude.
yeah. Like they called me what do you call me? Commander
Man,
Cutoff.
man, don't even pay attention to none of that.
Yeah. What up, Phil?
What up? What up? What up? My bad for
I
being
think we're
late.
talking about where are we at right now?
Stupid.
Love,
we were talking
love,
about
yeah.
we were talking about Dianna and
Deanna.
Hussein, but I think we're gonna move on to Naim and Tate, unless you want to chime in on
Nah, don't let me slow up the process.
that date.
I'm late.
All right.
So
Let's move on to Naim and Tay's date. So this is what I said about the date. I said how and why is Naim here when she said Cisco and Khalil in the vault? And then I put Naim is a killer. And then I said it was a solid date, but it should have been earlier. And then I was like, come on, Tay, like what are you doing?
What you mean? What she doing?
It was a solid date.
Nah. Stop doing that.
It was a solid date. It was a
What
solid
you
date.
do?
Because if you have certain expectations for how he should carry himself, then he would be thinking the same, right? Do you feel so? Some of the conversations I have with my girl, right? I would say I normally have like two rules. Like one, he shouldn't think that he has a chance, right? If he don't know you, then I would understand. But when Beyonce or Michelle Obama walk in the room, you know you don't have a chance. The second thing is getting physical. I'd be like, you should have no reason to touch him. I get it. You know him. You got that initial hug out the way. But other than that, with the laughing and the smiling and the giggling and the touching the arm and the chest and all that, I'm just not a fan.
Okay, so you speaking on the perspective of Cisco.
I'm speaking on, I feel like she left Naim an opening.
Right, but isn't that the whole premise of the show? Like, to me, it seems like when you get locked into a person, that's when you get eliminated. Even if you are right or whatever the case may be, they hang this thing over your head that you need to open up. You need to be with other people. You need to make a connection. So it seems like everybody puts their foot or their toe into the water of somebody else's pond because that's what the show tells you to do.
We saw her shed tears for this guy. We saw Naim and Cisco have the conversation about Tay. So what are we doing on the very next episode?
But wait, that's what I wanted to ask you guys. Do you feel like Naim should have told her that Cisco came and opened up to him about her? Is there like a bro code?
No, why are we talking about anyone else? If you ask me, I'll see what I can say about it, but I'm not opening up about nobody. I'm not on set talking about any other dates that you've been on. I don't care about the other dudes.
So then if that's the case, then why would you expect her to do anything else than what she did?
I guess the best way to say it is, I think Naim did it right. I feel like if she says that she has that strong connection with Cisco, then
I thought poverty broke them up.
no. Remember when we talked about it and I said, once you shed them tears, you either
Oh,
lock it
that
in
hug.
or you're
Got you.
done. Right? And she said she gonna give it a shot. She said it to the man's face.
Yeah,
We're
but
gonna
you
give it
know
a
what?
shot.
I feel like, and not really defending, but I feel like maybe, sometimes something can feel okay and you might be like, to her, maybe she's what's the word? Abandoning an expectation for Cisco, right? But then you think to yourself, like, okay, well, I really want him, his looks and everything, but he has that, and that's a hindrance, right? But then you had this other guy where he's attractive. He might not give you the whole passionate, lustful thing that you feel with the first one, but he's just okay. He maybe could give you a vibe too if you allow it, right? Because now, even though he got the 5 kids and she mentioned it, she was like, I kind of wrote you all because of the kids, but I see that, looking deeper into you a little bit better. And then if somebody get in her ear, like, girl, he got his own gym. He making money. He's taking care of his kids. He's Muslim, yada yada. Your kids will have good hair, whatever. You know what I mean? So then now she kind of playing both sides. So it's like, okay, you got this person over here who, you might be lusting after, and he might be what you're used to. But then you have somebody that's a little bit different, but that's where you want to go. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like that's where a lot of us end up falling in relationships these days, where it's like you got what you used to, but it hasn't really been working out for you. And then sometimes you make allowances because the sexual attraction and chemistry is so strong that you kind of go to that. But then you also know where you want to be. You know where your future is. You know what you're trying to do, the type of house you're trying to buy, and it can't go off of one income and things of that nature. So I mean, I don't know. Am I tripping? I hate when y'all get quiet. Y'all
So
be
like
like,
I
who
mentioned,
put this woman? Phil. Y'all be like, who put this
I'ma
lady on the
just say,
podcast?
I'm
Nah,
gonna just say, like, guys, I probably shouldn't be saying this out loud, but
Nah, say it.
say it out loud, bro.
guys know how to attack your subconscious weaknesses.
And you think that's what Naim was doing?
We just look for. I mean, we look for them. You show them, and we know how to attack it if we want to.
So in other words, what he's saying is, if a man know that you in the prayer, he's gonna get down on his knees and he's gonna pray with you. If he know that you like to paint, y'all gonna sit there and y'all gonna be Picasso's in the crib. And then once he learns all of the things that he needs to learn, well,
Yeah, it's like, who do you want me to be right now?
right.
So we discussed that. So that's Naim.
That's any man.
Well, she's allowing it. She's
that.
allowing it. She just kind of
Okay. What you got to say, Phil?
I'm just listening, man. I'm listening to the conversation, man. Y'all know my answer. But go ahead, Ty. Give him my answer, Ty. Give him my answer, Ty. Go ahead.
What would Phil say? Phil would say, "You're definitely one of my top connections."
One of my tops. That's what you're gonna be one
You're
of the
definitely
tops.
one of my top connections.
Look, I don't think there's anything wrong with the date that he had. First, I'd probably question when they actually did the date. If they can move stuff around. Because I remember they sent clips of a date that I did with Sydney that was like way earlier, and when it actually got shown, I think it was like much later. But regardless, I mean, unless you locked in, you're not locked in. So you're allowed to explore. That's the whole point of this, man. Without even knowing about the show, the whole point of this process is to go through dating, not the normal way that you would do it outside. You have 10 people that you are paired with. Your job is to explore all 10 to see who it is that you would vibe with, right?
Right.
When we in our normal lives, we usually see one person. It's like, yo, we got to go get that one person. The process allows you to date multiple people to find out who fits you better. There could be multiple people that fit you better. I don't blame either of them for going, doing their thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I just don't think they should have had a house date. I don't think they should have had a house date.
I mean, look, you don't get to choose, so I'm not knocking them for the house date. It's not like they could have been like, yo, we're gonna meet up at Starbucks. It's not. You can't do that. They have to approve of the locations, and it looks like they only got like 5 locations for Philly. It's either you on the bootleg block, you on a house, you in the gym. Only places that you get to go in Philly. Apparently, every place else you can't rock with. So it's either your house, the gym, or we got to lock off the block. But I'm being real. I don't think there's anything wrong. I know what you're saying, Ty, but in this, I don't see anything wrong. If she's feeling, unless Cisco commits, unless whoever commits, she's allowed to do whatever. Unless, Hussein is doing something, do your thing, man. Explore it, find out. I mean, you want to play with her feet, play with her feet. I guess that's his thing. You know what I mean? It's not. I'm not gonna sit there and play with your feet all day, but that's everybody. I like coffees. He likes teas. You do what you do. You do what you do, baby. I mean, Coley was working. It was working, man. You saw how she was sitting there vibing, like, good. My man is here. You gotta be an assassin sometimes. If you in the back, you gotta bring out the evasive maneuvers to get you to the front. If he had to play with some feet to get himself higher on the list, then boom.
Let it be. Let it be the feet.
If that's what you gotta do.
I got a question about the hug. Because, now I analyze every hug now, because what y'all said. So their hug was like one up, one down. So what you got to say, Ty?
I think he was just still trying to be respectful. Even though you could see his inner instinct is there, and it shows in a lot of the scenes. Because if you follow Naim's eyes, he tell you what he's feeling and what he's looking at.
I'm reading into that man's eyes.
Right.
I did not
You
look
know,
at that man's
like
eyes,
and you can hear him. You can hear some of the things that he's saying about outfits, what people are wearing. You can hear him. So,
right. But I did call it when I told you about Dianna. I was like, if anybody was supposed to get her, it'll be Naim. So that same energy that you see is the same thing that,
I don't know about that one. So to be clear, I'm not saying that they shouldn't explore the process. They should definitely date.
You just think
and they should. But I guess what I'm saying is, like she had the previous exchange with Cisco at the block party. You could see them kind of reconcile on some things and then start to move forward. And then he kind of sealed the deal with the forehead kiss.
But you can't hold him to that, because that man was also signing his name on some breasts. I mean, my man was signing his name on some. You can't. We gotta call balls and strikes the right way, man. I'm not gonna knock her for doing that, especially if my man's is body painting, and he saw more than just what they probably showed.
Yeah, and we're gonna get there too. We're gonna get there too.
I mean, I know. I'm just saying, we're gonna call balls and strikes. My man is out here doing his thing. She gonna be out here doing her thing. If they end up doing anything together later on, then so be it. If they don't, they got the feet tickled and they whatever else.
Here's the problem with women.
Whatever else was tickled, I'm not going in there.
This is the problem with women in this process. What they do is they get these men and they lock in on one, and they expect that the man do the same thing. But he's like, no, I'm here. You know what I mean? This is an assortment, and I'm here to partake in all of these fruits in the basket. While she just bit one apple and then said, I'm full. And you can't do that. And that's probably where you might see some drama come from.
Yeah, maybe, I could just see things and I'm just not explaining it right, but I am really good at picking out people's, I wouldn't necessarily call them weaknesses, but I think I said it in week 1, week 2, where I wanted to know a lot of their background. And she mentioned a little bit about her background and trust issues and all that. And I'm really good at picking that stuff out.
I'll say this, since Ty usually hits me with the everybody's my top thing. The people who I was interested in knew I was interested in them. There's one person who knew that they were the top, and I'll let them know honestly. Like, if that changes, I will let you know. Right now, you are the top. I'll be honest with you, but I still want to explore the process. And it's very simple. I mean, you may not like it, but you can't say I'm not being honest with you. The whole point of us being here is to explore something completely different. Otherwise, why did I sign up? I could do this for free at home without the stress, without the drama, without even maybe a better selection. It could be just that simple. I don't need to be here. I have chosen to partake in this for a different experience. So outside of that, you can't be mad at me or anybody else.
And one thing, just real quick, I just want to say this and then we'll move on or whatever. One thing I'll say is if you just think about everybody that left this show's couples, it was always the men exploring everything and then the women narrowing themselves down to just one. The end.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What should the women actually do? Like, how can a woman judge which guy is really into her? Is it okay? Because I understand they manipulate you. You can't really date who you want to date and stuff like that. So should she measure the amount of phone time she get with you after taping? Should she measure if you take her out after taping? Like, what exactly is the,
I said it from the beginning. I said you were born with a superpower called intuition. And you should tap into that instead of what the guy is telling you. You already know. You already know. You already know. Your intuition already told you.
You were a Riddler in a past life, weren't you?
I'm telling you what I know. You already know.
Why you can't just speak it out plain for the women? Like, women hear things differently. Like, you have a lot of women followers. Why don't you just speak it out?
You establish boundaries in yourself. Learn what love is and stick to your boundaries. Don't stick to what a man is saying to you or telling you. Like, you will know. If you're not feeling it, he don't like you.
All right, so you want me to answer that question, right? Because I'm just gonna be the most rawest about it. Two things. One, if the man is showing up after you guys are off the whatever, the cameras is off, if he's calling you like, yo, like I'm really feeling you, and then they will say this, I'm really feeling you, man, like, this shit that I'm doing, it is what it is. I'm gonna go along with it, but you already know at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? Versus if somebody's like, yo, but when you get off, why don't I just pull up over there? And you already know he's testing water. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, if he's really, communicating with you and telling you, outside of that, what it really is, then you got something real. Because, like I said, I've seen that happen.
There's some dudes that'll lie about it. You gotta look. The part of this process is to use your discernment to the best of your abilities to negate the bullshitters versus the real men that's on this show. It is not gonna be easy. Locking yourself in very early is, I would say now if I look back, a cardinal mistake because of the fact of you don't see what everything's going on. Like people who watch it get to see a 360 view. 360 view. You could be like, it's funny because even when the show was airing, people are sitting there telling me like, "Yo, don't do this." And I'm like, "Yo, it's so crazy because you can see everything that's going on. You got all the cameras. I get to see this tunnel vision right here. This person looks amazing to me in this tunnel." But you get to see everything else and get to just tell me later, like it's after the fact. I can't see that. I can't see what somebody's doing when I'm not around, when I'm not in the focus in the lens. So it's easier to dissect it after the fact. But I tell people like, yo, when you go through this, if you were to ever choose to go down this path, just explore it, have fun with it, try to learn something new about yourself. Learn something new about the people you with because it's a very compressed schedule. You are not learning everything you need to know. I was very clear. I was like, yo, if I leave the show with anybody, we're going to be dating. There's not no, I don't know you. I got to see how you move when the cameras are not around, right? We could all play cute in front of the cameras. I'm not stupid. I am a businessman. This is not something that you're going to fool me on. When the cameras are not around, that's when you find out who people really are. Right? Everybody's gonna try to do X, Y, and Z. There are people here for a certain attention. There's everybody looking for a spinoff. Everybody's gonna be Oprah. Everybody's gonna be this actor. Like, yo, if that's what you're looking for, you could easily tell. There was somebody that was like, yo, trying to find out when they could put the show in their bio, like second weekend. I was like, that ain't me. I already know where that's going, right? And you could just pick up on certain things. The whole point, date, find out what fits you. And it may not even fit you even after the show.
Yeah, okay. What you got, Ty?
Like Tommy said.
Not you quoting Tommy, man. Tommy got the
He
mic in his ear. Whoever's back there telling Tommy like, yo, say this, Tommy.
Yeah, you're single because you consistently date guys that are not a good match for you.
That's true too.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, right? How can you say that? What's not the good match, right? Like if you, I really want you guys to think about it because if you think not all guys are trying to date, not all guys are showing up for the dates, not all guys know how to talk properly, much less even have a career. You know what I'm saying? So where do you decide? Like,
so how about this? Can you recall on multiple occasions what Tay's first instinct was when she found out about a guy?
The energy went low.
There's multiple occasions where you could clearly see Tay's first, what am I trying to say? Her first thought, like her first feeling when she found out about a guy. You could see it in her face, in her feelings, in her energy. She didn't listen to it on multiple occasions. I'm not wishing anything bad for them, but we're gonna just see how that turns out. And it just goes back to trusting your intuition. Not the woulda, coulda, shouldas. Tap into your own superpower.
Let me ask you guys something. Do you think that by the time a woman comes on this show that she has already exhausted all of her possibilities?
No,
this is an elevation step.
Like I said, some people are using this and thinking that they're gonna get the spinoffs. You know how many times we had to deal with people talking about like, oh, I'm gonna get this, or like, if that's your boat, I'm not gonna knock you. Feel free. I'm never gonna hate on you. I'm not gonna stop your shine. But I know what I like and I know what I'm about. And there's certain people that, I'm not saying I'm perfect, don't get it twisted. But there's certain people that you know that's just not you. You could pick up on a vibe, you could pick up on what their foundational principles are for being here, right? If you end up with a spinoff, God bless you. But if you are purposely trying to do that, then how do I know I could trust your interactions with me?
And that was like for me on when I was there, I had one of my connections that was all about strategy, and that's when I jumped off. I'm like, you know what? I'm not here for the strategizing.
There's some connections that got affected off of when you find out that people are picking and choosing, and I'm just like, yo, hold up, this ain't. Don't put me in this. Don't rope me in this. I ain't signing up for that.
Okay. So what would your advice, Ty? You got something else? I'm sorry, I don't want to derail. Okay, what would your advice be for Rose? Right. So here it is, Rose. She looked like she locked in the Cam. You know, she came up and she said everybody that she has dealt with has cheated on her. To me, I feel like I don't see Rose there for the fame. You know what I mean? I really feel like she probably thought that she might have this opportunity, but at the same time, find somebody who might be a little bit more genuine. You know.
I think go ahead.
I'll say this. My advice for Rose is this. I already know that, I mean, based off of what I'm seeing anyway, and I could be wrong, but whatever. Sahara is, you know, her and Cam already, you know, experienced things. And that being said, Rose is just going to be another part of, you know, living another part of the disappointment that she, you know, primarily came on the show to escape from, right? So my advice would be run, and then when you get off of this thing, you know, use the attention that you got to maybe, you know, control your own narrative, control your own destiny. You know, maybe people now look at you as a commodity when they see what they see from, you know, the TV screen, and you know, this may give you a different lever to pull, but I don't feel like you know, you can keep doing the same things that you've been doing, which is hanging in there when, you know, there's obvious, you know, some sort of obvious infidelity or whatever. You know, so I would just say, you know, just run and do you. Get your mind right, and you know, and use the new tools that you got in your tool belt.
Okay.
Yeah, for anyone that was looking for a wife, good woman on their side, Rose would have been snatched up a long time ago.
Was this the episode that we can talk about the surrogate and the adoption?
Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up, and two more topics. Yeah, it's coming up.
I think Rose had a good date with saying. I think my advice for Rose would be, one, you got to let go of the past, right? Just bring it.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet, y'all. We're not.
No. I'm not talking about the date. I'm talking about just in general, based off of her date with Cam. I don't think telling people that you've been cheated on every single time is a win. That's not something that you, especially early on, you want to tell somebody as you connect with them and get closer to, you know what I mean, this is my girl shit. I probably would wait till I'm in a relationship. I would probably tell her that she's got to change that approach, right? You're not building based off of your past. You're building on what you're going to present in your future. Not saying that your past doesn't shape you, but your future and what you're going to bring to this relationship is not that negativity. It is not. And I think for her, she's probably got to find somebody. I think she's really smart. I think she needs to build up her EQ, her emotional intelligence, in terms of picking men that are not just here for a short while. I think she needs to find somebody that is on her level emotionally, intellectually. And I think, I don't know if all the guys on this show are it, but I'm not going to knock these guys. I don't know them like that, but I think she needs to evolve from what she's been through into who she is.
I would like to know how Rose feels about herself. That's what I would like to know. Like, does she know who she is, I would even ask her, like, what would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? Like, I don't know if she knows that she's a banger. Like, she's got a lot to offer. So I feel like she needs to stand on that. Like, she can get a really great guy. I also feel like she could switch her wording around. Like, don't say every guy I ever been with cheated on me. Just say I left every single guy that cheated on me. Right? Don't ever say that. Don't say that out loud.
I don't even think she should say that part either, because that still sounds like a lot.
If she gonna say it, so like, what if it was reversed? What if a guy was like, "You're the only woman that's ever been faithful to me,"
or even another
yeah. What if a
of
woman
work.
was like, "You're the only guy that's been faithful to me. You're the only guy to treat me good."
Or what if a guy said to a woman, you know, you're the only girl that I never cheated on.
We getting off right now. Let's talk about this Shenise and Cisco date. Like, they naked.
No, she was naked. He had on shorts. I feel like
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I feel like that should have told you right there. And you know what I think? I think she did kind of feel it, because I think she wanted to probably completely disrobe. But the fact that he didn't join her by made her keep the robe there and keep it open. I could be wrong, but that's what I was feeling. Because I feel like one person being naked and the other one having on clothes is kind of like, And I thought she, especially because he always take his shirt off. I think that, and I ain't gonna lie, his personality too, I'm surprised he kept the shorts on. So that kind of made me think that he wasn't really into her. Am I tripping?
I mean,
until he saw those naps, he probably was like, "Oh, hold on." And
he gave multiple indications that it would go down.
Like what?
And the way that he responded, where I think one of the things he said, where it could go any way you want it to go. And then she said, "Do whatever you're most comfortable with." And he immediately came out the shirt.
Huh? He didn't have on the shirt.
What show are you watching? What are you watching? He came out the robe. He came out the robe.
Right. He had on a robe, but he had on his shorts. And I feel like once you see a woman is completely naked, why wouldn't you just drop your shorts too and it just be a whole new fest? No?
So I think she tried. I think she said something like, "Are there any other options or something for this canvas or whatever?"
That's what I'm saying.
I think he went as far as taking his shorts off. I think he was. And did you peep their hug at the end? Did you analyze that one? Go back and see it. He enjoyed that.
I understand, but you know what? I feel like to me, I think that there's like two sides, right? I feel like you have the man, which is a man. So naked woman, ooh, or that looks good, that feels good, ooh, you know what I mean? But then when you really sit down and you want to see if you got the man, if you conquered the man, to me, conquering the man would have been him dropping the shorts. That would have been like, you know what? Me and you, we here. Because we both at the same, we here. So now it's getting a little bit more intimate. Now it's like, forget writing the names. We just pouring paint at this point, like the Tyler Perry movie. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get that energy from him. I got that, okay, I'm a man, so yeah, this looks good. That feels good. That, this, and the other. But I didn't get, I want to smash and I want this to be my girl. Or either I want this to be my girl. I feel like, I didn't even get like, damn, I wish the cameras wasn't here. I didn't even get that.
Because
I think he probably
she pretty much made it easy for him. Like, they're in there at least 30 minutes to an hour. She butt naked. Like, he ain't got to do much work. He's already painting in her inner thigh. Like that's more than enough. If they're on TV, like personally, I wouldn't have been attracted to that. I probably would have been turned off.
Right, but that's
Yeah,
you know, you be saying the same thing I be saying, but just slower.
Uh,
That's the same thing I said though. Like I just
but he
feel like
did entertain it. He entertained a lot.
but if he didn't, he would have looked funny. They probably would have
No,
ended
he
up calling
wouldn't have.
him
He could have
down.
been like,
No. Huh? The
no,
women
he
would
could
have
have been
ate
like,
him up.
I'll do your back. Like I'm dating, but I'm not trying to see
Really?
you. I'm not trying to
Really,
see
Ty?
everything right now.
Really, Ty? You think that big old man could have said, "Oh no, please turn the boobs away and let me paint your back"? Really?
He could have if he
he
wanted
should
to.
have. He should have
He
said
would have
that.
Yeah.
gotten. He would have gotten
Nah.
dragged in TV
Nah.
land. Yes, the hell he would have. He
Nah.
would have
It could have
gotten
been like
dragged.
they
They
would
would
have
have.
been like, you know what? He being respectful. He already got a
No,
connection that he gave the
no,
forehead kiss to.
no.
But then in the
Listen,
very next episode, he's staring at
he
nakedness
would
and didn't even gonna
have.
tell her to put her clothes on.
Let me tell you something. In that group
Okay.
that I got, they would have put the rainbow all up and through that group.
Okay. So if you are worried about outside influences, your relationship ain't gonna work anyway.
But it ain't no relationship. I'm just saying when you got that camera in front of you, you two people, you got who you got to be mindful of. Yeah, America's gonna see this, and then you got who you are, your principles and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And that man, as a man, because he still ain't in no relationship with Tay. So at the same time, he like, well, she showed me, but I ain't gonna tell her turn around, let me paint your back.
If you can't handle temptation, how you think your relationship's gonna go?
But he did handle it.
You know what though?
You think so? You
I
think
think
so?
in his mind, he probably was like, "Yo, I better not do no shit on TV that I'm gonna regret. And if I say the wrong thing, this could go either way." Because, I mean, like I said, on my season, we had somebody that misread those cues, and they did something different.
Yeah.
And so, if he read into that,
Okay.
I mean, it's easy if you're looking at something, bulging out at you. All kind of thoughts could be going through your mind, like, damn, what if I just grazed it or whatever. But and for him to put out his own fire, I think might have been a little bit noble, and he probably bowed out gracefully, and no realizing that he's on TV, he ain't trying to, come up on no bullshit.
Yeah.
So
You're a nudist. This is what you do. This is what you're comfortable with. I'll allow it. It's cool. I'll help you embrace that. Is this something that I would be doing knowing that you're going to be in the vault, with my other connection tomorrow? Probably not. But if I'm out with the fellas in the Dominican or at the strip club, hey, you know.
Right.
I still feel like, though, at the end of the day, I think that she did that to one up Tay, right? Because, I mean, let's be clear. She wanted to take that evidence into the room, knew exactly how it was going to play out, and was like, yeah, I'm going to go in there and shit on her, let her know that her man was writing his name all over it.
Yeah. Yeah. So these are my notes. I said, she said their connection has been pretty intimate, which I thought was pretty telling. And Cisco wants to follow the process the correct way. I said he's marking his territory with his name, and he said it. He said, "I'm marking my territory,"
Right.
and you could tell she wanted to see it all. And then I
Mm-hmm.
put that hug though at the end.
So you don't got the picture of the hug?
We could pull. I could go find the hug. Hold on.
Because I don't remember that.
Let me know your thought.
I don't remember the hug. I feel, and you know what? To be honest with you, I don't even really feel like she won up Tay, because I don't really think that it went anywhere.
But being able to say that your man
saw me naked
did
first
and wrote his name on my shit.
Yeah,
marked
but
his territory out of his
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Well,
guess
he
the
said,
mark. I guess the mark the territory, but if you really think about it, right? Like,
See, you.
My
Go
dreams.
ahead. Go ahead.
all right, let me ask you: have any of you guys body painted?
kind of, but I didn't really use
Okay.
a paintbrush.
Not with someone that my possible girl is going to be in the vault with
No,
in the
wait a
same
minute.
week.
I understand,
There's a
but
difference.
we're still on the show. We still creating content. I want to know if you ever body painted, because the first thing you automatically think of is to write your name. It's like it's automatic. Like even if
I was with you until that. That's not the first thing.
Yeah, I don't even
No.
I don't even think the name part is bad. It's what he said afterwards. And what
if you are
she
butt
could think
naked,
from
that is not what I'm thinking about. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Okay,
You know,
wait a minute.
if you are naked in front of me, my name is not what's on. I mean, maybe for some.
Hold on, Phil. So then what would you do? You remember, you got to paint. You got to do something. What would you do? You gonna draw a tree on her? You gonna make a cat? Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna put a penis? Like, what are you gonna do?
Draw a diamond.
A diamond? How many people draw diamonds? When you do body painting, you're gonna resort. Look at
that. Yeah, I'm drawing a spade is what I'm doing.
Look at that. That hug don't look like nothing.
That hug don't look like nothing? That hug is him kissing
y'all,
on
and
her
y'all
neck.
wonder why.
I guarantee you there was a kiss on the neck. I guarantee you. Gotta be me. I'm telling you right now, I'm being honest with myself.
Can you make it move?
No, but listen.
Yes.
All right, hold on. Let me explain to you, Lex, one thing about that hug.
All right.
That says intimacy because they're chest to chest. So she's feeling his warm body.
But
she been bucky naked for the last 30 minutes.
Right, but listen. But look at his body. He is at his penis. Like he gotta look how he had to straighten up. So he's bending like this to hug her. Why isn't it a whole straight body hug?
Because in his mind he's like, yo, I don't want no reaction. I don't want no reaction out of here. Phil,
from Debo. I gotta keep mind control over Debo.
Okay.
And if I get too close.
Okay.
He has also got the awareness to know that he's on camera.
Thank you.
That this is incriminating evidence. So
that
if he does not end up, or if he does end up with his connection, he has a justifiable explanation that will be like, yo, you saw the way I hugged her? This is how we do it in Chicago.
Right.
This is how we do it in Chicago.
I want Ty to rewind that because I want to show you something. He got a quick hump in too.
The hump?
Yeah, show it. Play the clip. Play the clip. Play it from the beginning. When he first pulled. Yeah.
So this is the reverse. This is the reverse.
Yeah, exactly. Now let's go back. Watch him get a quick little hump.
I don't. All right, so let me ask you something, right? Honestly, now after what they just went through, right? How did you expect that hug to go? Like, I mean, what he should have did? Shook her hand? Like she's butt naked. You don't think he should have? To me, that hug was flexing Cisco. Like,
we are grown. I just want to.
Okay, Lex. I'm just gonna agree with you. Okay.
I want to let you know we're grown.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying
is, how innocent, it doesn't matter how gentle, giant you may be.
All right.
I just want to let you know we grown.
Okay, so then what you're saying then is that hug meant what?
I'm gonna see you later.
Exactly. all that means when this is done.
We pull that back.
I got you.
Yo, I got you.
So can I ask you a question? Okay, so let me ask you a question. So was that hug more intimate than the hug he did with Tay?
Yes.
Yeah, because it was chest to chest, skin to skin.
She's naked. Everything changes when you're naked.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine if you went up to a man and you hugged him when you ain't had no shirt on and he ain't had no shirt on. Just
Wait,
that
I'm
skin
sorry.
contact alone
Wait,
is
I'm
like
sorry. Okay, maybe intimate isn't the word, right? Meaningful. That hug, that was just feelings,
It
or that
depends
was
on
just love.
what meaning you're going for.
exactly because it wasn't like it was a pound.
I mean,
Because
look,
I'm sure he wouldn't pound her.
as men, we all have our signature move.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
And that was his signature move. That Rick said.
There's a signature move that's in there with the look,
with the hug, with
Clutch.
the extra
Clutch.
squeeze,
the hug,
with the
Yeah.
and
extra
you put
squeeze.
your face by the ear and the neck, and you
That's
get
it.
the
Right.
perfect spot.
And then we didn't get to
Lex
peep who
laughing
let
because
go
she's like,
first.
damn, I experienced that too. Lex is like this.
Okay.
Damn it, he got me. You know.
Okay. So question. Okay. So question. So now you Tay, and you see that hug. That hug should mean that you should be done with him.
No. Again, you guys
Still
have to understand the emotional maturity that you have to be on this show, right?
Yeah.
You guys are not together. You guys are supposed to explore, and that says a lot. How you handle that will say a lot. If Tay is emotionally secure, understanding that he's on a date the same way, he can't be mad that, she was having her feet twinkle toed and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? You have to respect.
But you said when y'all decoded the hug said, "I'll be back."
It is.
So
now the
okay,
question is whether he's back.
It's either I'll be back or you know what it is.
Yeah.
And one or the other.
You ever seen a line that take a gazelle? You ever seen a line that take a gazelle? It looked.
Let me ask you this, Lex. Do you feel like
it's all calm and cool, like and then it pounces and it's over?
Do you think Shenise thinks she does not have a chance with Cisco?
Wasn't the girl that
do you think that this date, in Shanice's mind, do you think that this date enhanced their connection or not?
I just feel that Shenise is looking her in her mind, the fact that somebody lusts her or want her body, I think she puts that in as a different type of attention, like they really want her. And I don't think they want her. I think they will fuck her. You know what I mean? If I could say that, I'm sorry. But I think that that's what they would do. And I think she equates that to real genuine attention. You know what I mean? Like really, not attention, like really wanting her in interest. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm trying to figure her out. And to me, she seemed like she just likes the attention. She wants to be wanted. I feel like she probably didn't like herself before, and now she got all this stuff done. She like, listen, I'm on this, I'm on that. Hey, that's Hussein. You know what I mean? So, hey, I want like, this is what I want. So that's what I feel with her.
I mean, and keep in mind too, that hug, they might have had to produce that and turn it down and say, oh, hold up, that first one was a little bit much. So we're gonna just try to make it a little friendly.
But why? They was already in an intimate scene where they done blurred out her coochie. You know what I'm saying?
Because of the storyline that they want to tell.
Oh, okay. See, I can't take all this editing.
Sure, what you be looking at, like we are literally telling you what we think it is, and you would still say it's not that.
It's not that. You know what I want? Because women like to lie to themselves a lot of times. And even though I know that this is a review for the show, I still try to set my questions up so that women can hear the perspective of men, that they can understand certain things, so that when they're ever facing that situation, they will handle it accordingly. You know what I mean? Because in their minds, you think one way as a woman, and you guys, I want them to hear what it actually is. So it's kind of like a play fool to catch wise, so people can know if they ever watch it back, they see what it's hitting for. Because women will tell ourselves whatever we want if we really want that person. You know what I mean? Because I could be like, If I was like Tay, I could be like, well, look, it wasn't dick to pelvis. You know what I'm saying? Like, you find stuff. So when you guys was like, I asked you, what that hug mean? It mean I'll be back. Okay, well then now the next time somebody sees something like that, or if Rose is watching and Rose remember the hug that he hugged Sahara, and you know what I mean? So now she used these things as a meter to start figuring out what's what. So
But
there's a
y'all
message
already know. I
You know
agree.
what it is. You already know. Like
I
you
agree.
know.
I would also like to use the show as educational, uh, as for educational value as well. And I feel like I try my best to let y'all know what's going on, even though
You
I feel like
talking
I'm
a lot
telling
of
too
cold
many
though,
guys
Ty.
secrets. I don't know how to tell you
Just
any
say
other
it.
way than what I am telling you.
No, you
There's
don't. You
nothing
be
coded
talking.
about it. There's nothing
Nah,
coded about it.
there's some things
So,
where you be like, oh, discernment. Nah, everybody's discernment isn't working. You like, well, you got to figure out, you got to find love. A lot of people didn't grow in love, so they don't know what love is. So sometimes they got to hear it. Just like when P.O. be spitting it out, like, nah, fuck that. Like, that's what it is. Boop. So she hear it. She got to,
but
some women
that's
got to get that.
but that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The journey of life, the journey of discovering what love is just all part of the process. But
But
I
a lot of
feel
women
like
get damaged.
you
Nah.
confuse your emotions with all right,
It's not a
okay.
confusion of emotions. You have to remember that emotions is a stronger thing. That I ain't gonna lie to you. That's one of the reasons that made me even start relationship coaching, right? Is because no matter what I told them logically, you understand? No matter what I said logically, once their emotions was tied to that man, there was nothing I could do to get her apart. Right. And there was a girl that I told that I was coaching her a couple of years ago, right? And then a man came around and told her the same thing the other day, and she couldn't wait to tell me. And I'm like, girl, I told you that 2 years ago. She said that hearing it from a man hit different. She said she needed to hear it from the man. I said, okay. But once I was doing that, I'm like, once you do it, women, the things that women do and say and they be, I was just like, I got tired. So I was like, you know what?
So I think it's different calibers of the men as well. There's some really nice guys out there, and there's some animals out there that just are just predators.
Right.
So,
And how they gonna be able to tell the difference?
so I
Because you got
think,
some.
yeah,
Sorry.
I think I have a healthy balance of it all, especially when I'm up here trying to explain it. It's almost as like when you hire a psycho to catch a psycho. I'm literally telling you what's going on.
I don't know, Mr. Politically Correct. Sometimes your things be
I was. Let's move on to this.
Can we talk about that surrogate and what you call
Yeah,
it
yeah,
yet?
yeah. So we up right now. We're talking about Rose and Hussein.
That was the
Rose.
dumbest. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I said this should be the couple, and I said he opens up about his childhood, and he's struggling to believe. No, I said he struggled to believe that. No, I said struggling to believe that you deserve to be loved is real. Like I struggled, and I didn't know that I was struggling until after the show. So yeah, I definitely felt that because my biological father was never present. And it took me digging deep into that to realize why I was the way I was. And I wasn't able to overcome that until I forgave him publicly. Yeah, it's real. So on my channel, it's real. Had a live interview with him.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I was
So
I actually watched that. That was actually a really, really good segment.
yeah.
The
So
substance
learning
abuse.
about the two pillars in your life, your parents, will teach you a lot about yourself if you're really willing to dig deep. And I actually learned. I'm probably talking too much, but I learned something about my mom today. I went through, a bunch of her stuff, and um, her birth certificate was not signed by a man. There's zero signature on there. And it really helped me get a really good understanding of, a lot of the things that she was going through when it comes to abandonment, trust, and things of that nature. So if you have that opportunity, y'all, if y'all can hear my voice, put in that work to build a relationship with your parents, and if you got to forgive them. If you got to find them, find them. You deserve that closure, because it's your relationships. You're gonna struggle in your relationships until you do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Eddie, Rose and Hussein. Man, I wish this happened 2 weeks ago.
I mean, I think they probably made a decent couple. I mean, based off of just kind of, how they sized up with each other. Optically, I'd say.
Yeah, they can work. They can work
I
How
don't
can
know
they
any.
work?
I don't know about energy wise. I don't know.
because I think that they can be
Trauma bond?
soft. They not even about the trauma bonding. I think they can be gentle with each other's traumas, not necessarily the bonding part, but sometimes people don't know how to be gentle or how to quote unquote chastise you or work with you. And it can feel like aggression. It can feel like you're being loud. It can feel like um, it's too much when a person just doesn't know how to treat that.
So
So,
what you're
so
asking me?
Tyrone.
Hmm?
I'm sorry. No, I was going to ask you, Tyrone, really quick.
Yeah,
Remind me of what happened with that date with them two.
it was good. It was
No,
short.
I know, but yeah,
Um,
but I was trying to figure out the context of that conversation.
no, basically,
He was in
he
foster
opens up
care or
about his
something.
childhood and being in
Right,
foster
right, right, right,
care.
right, right, right,
Yeah.
right, right. That's what it was. That's what. Yeah.
Hmm.
So and that's one. So one of the things about Hussein is I don't feel like he gets. I don't feel like I know a whole lot. I get sometimes it comes out in bursts, but he's always been. They've been keeping him kind of like in the background and giving us little spurts. And it's kind of like how they did with Demetrius, right? From my season, Demetrius was there. Everybody knew who he was. He was present, but he didn't get a lot of depth to his coverage. Like there wasn't a lot of depth to his story. Yeah, I remember this moment.
I like Hussein. He
I mean,
reminds me.
no, yeah, I'm not saying that I don't like him. I'm just
No, no,
saying
no.
that I want to know more. I would like to know more about, you know, who he is as a person because I think that they paint him. I mean, all I'm seeing is the softer side, and I know that there's a different level to that. Mild
a
mannered.
good spirit. Yeah, he seems like a good
Hmm?
spirited person, and he seems really decent. But you know who his I wouldn't compare him to Demetrius, I think. But maybe I just don't remember Demetrius. But you remember there was another guy, I think his name was like AJ, like he was a producer. But
Oh yeah,
he's
AJ.
yeah, we really don't hear anything about him. I think did he date Zadia or something? I don't remember. Like all y'all stuff is kind of like
AJ was from Houston.
okay, yeah. Well, he was really that's who he kind of give me the vibe of Hussein. It's like you don't really know too much about him. They're not really
Right.
sharing all his story. He's just there as a good looking guy and he shows up when they need him or whatever.
So either his storyline is going to be, the guy that saved the show, or they're going to make him a monster in the end.
I don't think he's gonna be a monster.
Nah, nah. I
I'm
don't think
just
he'll
saying, like,
allow that.
based, right? That's what I'm
I'm
saying. So it's one or the other.
I'm gonna tell you what happened, right? So sometime way before the show came out, Tommy dropped a picture, right? That was like, excuse me, sorry, I'm so sorry.
Bless
Excuse
you.
me. Thank you. It was a picture where it was like just wrapped up silly, right? And it was
Mhm.
4 of the guys on the couch. And of course, I seen it and grabbed it and threw it in the group because we were trying to figure out who the cast was. But it was
Mhm.
the last ones where I guess the guys get into their they're the ones who made the connections at the end or whatever stayed at the end.
Right.
So they already think they have it all figured out because of that picture. And then once we got the picture and posted it, Tommy removed it from his page. So I'm
Ah.
guessing that. So I think he
Oh,
was one of the guys that was on the couch.
he got his ass in trouble for that one. Good
Hmm.
job. Good job. Um, yeah, but no, I mean, like I said, I'm waiting for his storyline to open up just a little bit. Because, like I said, I hate when they do that, when they make everybody sort of one dimensional or make some people one dimensional, and then you don't learn anything else but one dimension.
Yeah,
Because they did that they did that with Naim in the very beginning, and then you start seeing like his character, like who he is characteristically in terms of that having value and upholding the fellas and all that other good stuff that we're seeing.
you know what's funny? Just from my perspective as a group person, right?
Mm.
Naeem started doing interviews before anybody. I knew Naeem was on the show, and I couldn't find anybody else because Naeem was already doing interviews, already doing things. So I think they kind of redid the show because I think Naeem got kicked off first. Because usually when a person get kicked off first, they get all mad and stuff like that. So I'm really surprised that he's still on it right now. So I'm guessing maybe because of that leak, maybe they kind of redid it. I don't really know.
No, they didn't redo it because they will have to call everybody back in and bring in the outfits in and the cameramen and all that stuff. That's a lot of money just to do for
They
one dude.
they
That's a
couldn't just
lot of
re-edit
money.
it and take out the
If
scenes.
if
No,
anything,
no.
they would have just rearranged some of his dates.
That's what I was thinking because I
Yeah.
mean, why? Because he really was angry. Like he was talking on social media and stuff like that. You know how you do, like when you get mad and you got kicked off, and he was kind of spazzing out a little bit. But then I'm like, well, damn, that don't even match. Like, how is you spazzing and doing interviews, but then now you got all these things. So then, with the leak, that's maybe I don't know. Because remember, they
Yeah.
took a long time to come back out, so that could have been a thing too. They had to. I don't know. Y'all
I
know better
mean,
than me.
yeah, no, but sometimes too they like to flex that contract and they say, yo, you signed, bruh. So, and on there there's a part of it where basically if you flex too much, you agree to pay up to the 750,000 in damages. Now keep flexing, and we're gonna come and we taking all of that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
'cause, I know, especially with you, like, you even told me, and that's how I guess I kind of learned it too, because you was like, soon as my contract up, I'm coming. So when I see them talking, I'm like, ooh, like, wait a minute, something ain't, so,
hmm
okay.
yeah,
Well,
But
that's why I talk so
Rose,
much shit now.
Rose and Hussein, I liked it.
I think the only thing I think, and
I
I know
liked it.
you don't like the word the trauma bond, but it's trauma bonding, and they might heal each other, and then I don't know, but I don't see any sparks from it.
But that's the thing. Like sometimes it's better that way.
All right, so let
If
me
it's
let
if
me
it's
just
not an instant thing, you get to grow
so can
together.
Right.
I so let me just throw a quick prediction out there. All right, this is what I'm gonna say. Cam and Sahara and Rose. Sahara's gonna be in it for the longer run, and
Not there
her and
yet. We're
Rose.
not there yet. Go ahead.
I'm no,
Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying.
Go ahead.
Her and Rose, while we're on the subject of them two, her and Rose are gonna have down the line some sort of negative interaction, and then Rose will probably defect to Hussein, because why would they put those two together for no reason right now? Why would they do that? They wasn't even on each other's radar. And then it was a positive experience. So that's just there to set the stage that something is to come with those two. Trust me.
Yeah, they framed it as the your second option. But you know me, I went frame by frame for the previews of next week to see who was going to be in the mansion. And it was a certain someone that was not in any of the shots. So y'all can go figure that out yourself.
Just tell
But
us. I think I saw that too. I don't remember now.
I didn't see Naim at the mansion. I didn't see Naim. I think I saw everyone but him. So I don't know if it was just the way that they did the promos or whatever, but he wasn't there.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
we good on the Rose and Hussein?
No, because
Okay, well,
thing,
come on. Go ahead.
that thing that she said was stupid. She don't want anybody carrying her baby. That whole I don't want to surrogate.
That's Rose and Fritz. That's Rose and Fritz. We're not there yet. Rose and Hussein, we good?
Yeah.
Okay. Angie and Eddie now. So he bought her a journal. Said that he knows a lot about her at this point. He said he loves her as a mother. And then one thing I thought was weird was that he took a sip before mentioning his deal breakers.
And what were the deal breakers?
I thought it was kind of odd, because you shouldn't feel any type of way about your deal breakers, right? It's not up to you to manage someone else's feelings, you know? So, but then it comes out that, it was interpreted that he needed a cleaner. And then that she's cool with her best friend that she was intimate with. And then that's an issue. And then now there ain't no connection between them.
I feel like Eddie would have found any way to bow out gracefully and people still like him. They also try to paint Eddie as a drunk too, no?
Well,
yeah, they saying Ed was getting it up in.
So
they saying that he's like, they was calling him what they saying, that I read something in that group. They're talking bad.
He always gotta have a drink. The girls on the show were saying that he always gotta have a drink. Eddie always with the drink, something to that nature.
Yeah, I didn't think their perspective is their reality. So he admitted, I like to have a drink.
I just mentioned that when you said that he had to take a drink before his thing, because if he do like the drink, then he gonna take a drink before he starts.
So in his explanation, he was like, I like to have a drink, but I wasn't drunk or anything since. Something he said, the way that he explained it was a bit off. I gotta go back and listen to the audio.
I don't know.
But he said it, but it was like in past tense.
I just feel like I don't think that he was a drunk. I don't know why the girls notice it so much, but Eddie, to me, I think he's one of the younger ones too. No, he's only 31.
If multiple people were saying that, then that's what they feel.
But you got to remember too, they put them drinks in your hands.
He don't have to drink them.
No, he went somewhere.
Why let a good drink go to waste?
Rose chose water.
Yeah, he went out with Rose.
Drink it.
Right. But my thing is, why are you counting his drinks? If he's not drunk, what does it matter?
Right.
Why?
What?
It's their reality. It matters to them that he's always drinking, according to them.
I mean, then he must be getting drunk.
Yeah, it's affecting the way that he's coming off to them. And maybe his authenticity, and they want to see something different. What are you like when you're sober?
Man, that man still gets up and goes to work in the morning, so he ain't too bad.
Eddie just there for a check. Look, that's
Man.
typical Philly where they button the shirt all the way up to the Adam's apple. Look, you see the neck? I was like, I hate that job.
But what do we think of this date and the way it went? Are you still cool with your exes?
Me?
What happened?
Yes, Lex. Are you still cool with your ex?
I was cool with a lot of my exes for a long time until men start having a problem with it and saying it to me and bringing it to my attention. Like, people used to put up with it, but then, then I met one guy and he didn't want to put up with it. I guess he was like more insecure. So eventually I started like just stopping communication altogether over the years. But yeah, I never had a problem with it because to me, being cool with an ex kind of made it seem like, you weren't toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I looked at it. I'm like, we can break up, still be cool, so amicable breakup, you know what I mean? So it's like, I didn't have a problem with it, and even if a guy tells me that he's cool with his ex, I don't think I would have a problem with it until I do. Like, say if she's doing something crazy, like, calling all hours of the night, or, I'm stuck somewhere, can you come pick me up? Like, things like that. But, if she connects to something or she on your social media or something, I don't really trip, but I'm not really insecure, so.
Yeah, so I got a few thoughts. One, it's not the ideal situation. I'll tell you that. It's not the ideal situation that I would want for you to have been intimate with your best friend.
Well, and that right there.
Yeah, and then you say he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, best friend is kind of OD though.
Yeah. The other thing is that you do have to be secure in yourself first, and then be secure in what you have, as a group. But then, I also kind of look at it differently. I'm like, if you want to risk losing me, okay, have at it. I'm cool with some of my exes, but I also know how to have boundaries. If I know that that's how you feel about the situation, I know to keep her at a distance. There's other things that we can do or other things that we can set up. I have exes where I'm cool with their kids. They're cool with my daughter. So if I'm in town, sometimes I like to get them together. If that's an issue, it won't happen. It don't mean anything. There ain't nothing going on. It's just a connection there that I don't want to lose.
Well, wait a minute. Now, see, that's the part. Like, I don't know. I think when you start saying things like that, then I might feel some type of way. But but at the same time, like, I wouldn't push it. But if you be like, well, like, say if we're dating and you come like, well, my ex is around, but that's the connection I don't want to lose. Mm-hmm. Now you got it in my head, like, wait, what? But if you just left it alone and was like, well, yeah, that's my ex, and our kids still play together, I wouldn't trip. But I don't want to lose it. Like, say what?
Yeah.
Like, hold on now.
So one thing I know from experience is the ones you have to worry about is the ones they don't tell you about.
That's me.
The other thing that I do know is that you have probably already met the person that your mate is going to cheat on you with.
Damn.
It's just what it is. But yeah, like, it's not the ideal situation. It's just something that you got to work out and work through and have and have a conversation. Sometimes being able to communicate with an ex is just enough of sexual tension to keep her closer to you. They don't want to step out, but sometimes urges take over, and instead of cheating, they go hang out with the ex, feel a little bit of that sexual tension, come home to you.
Say
I'm just
wasn't
telling
it?
you what happened. I'm just telling you what happens.
So then that means for you too. That's why you got the person you don't want to lose.
I'm just telling you what happened. But yeah, that's a tough situation. I don't know if I would have worded it the way that Eddie worded it, especially about the fact that he needs a cleaner and all that stuff. Sometimes I like to say, like, we need to supplement each other in the household. I have no problem cooking and cleaning, but if that's something that you would get to before I would, okay, and I'll get you back later, But you definitely don't have to keep the house clean. That's not your job. That's our job.
You know what I got from that? I got from that Eddie was trying to turn her off and not be the bad guy. Like I do that too. Like there's some
You be
times where I
giving
don't
these
tell.
dudes a
No, well, I mean, I'm just going off of me. Like there's some times where I don't want to turn you down, so then I might hit you like, well, I was a cat woman for a bunch of years, and I don't really work like that. Like I kind of hit you like I make it sound like I'm going for your pocket. And if I come at you like that, then usually the guy get turned off and he the one who walk away. So then I don't feel bad. I'm like, all right, well, and I feel like that's what Eddie was doing because no woman wants to hear cook and clean and maid and this is and the other. So the way that he was giving it was enough. And I feel like he was being schooled by a woman, whether it be his mom or his baby mom. I feel like there was a woman that was telling him like, yo, all you got to do is say X, Y, and Z. She going to hit the bricks by herself. You don't even got to be the bad guy.
But why? Why? So, for educational purposes, why lie?
It's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's like,
And even if if that is what he wanted, there's no need to take a drink.
you back on the drink.
He could just say, "This is what I like in my woman." Is that
I
you or
feel,
not?
nah, I mean, he could have worded it differently, but see, when you word it differently, now it becomes a soft lie, or now it becomes you sugarcoating, and now that's when the woman can start playing like, oh well, he just wants somebody traditional. You know what I mean? But when he said it the way he said it, you automatically get turned off, and you like, oh no, I am never calling him again, and he ain't got to worry about hurting your feelings.
So, again, if you say it differently, they're going to perceive it differently. And then, depending on how she feels about you, she's just going to keep perceiving it differently. She's just going to keep lying for you. And now you got to be a bad guy because she didn't take the first 6 hints that you gave her because she was sugarcoating it instead of just being truthful.
But I thought her face said that she was exiting, no? Didn't she get that exit look?
Yeah. So at the end, I think, see what I
He
got.
got her.
She said Eddie just isn't a connection for her right now.
Right. They all doing it. I mean, I think Eddie know how to swing it. I think that wasn't the first time he did that.
But you could tell the truth without being a bad guy. You're not the bad guy. I am not responsible for your feelings.
What are you talking about? We're all responsible for each other.
No, we're not. I am not responsible for your feelings about my boundaries. No, I'm not. I'm not.
That was, but we weren't discussing boundaries though.
Okay.
Well, there's a saying that I have, and it goes like this: I am not responsible for what you do and how you act, but I am responsible for the way that I make you feel. So if I did something to you, then I'm responsible for that particular action. But other than that, you own that.
Your feelings are your feelings. Like if I know that what I'm about to do is gonna make you feel bad, then I'm a bad guy.
I feel like, to be honest with you, I feel like when you let somebody take their self out, it's easier for you to spin the block. You can always change it up because you could be like, well, I ain't really say, you know what I mean? Like, it's always like, if you want to finesse the situation, you could always do that. And then you just don't feel bad. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I really feel like these guys that they found, I don't know, but I really feel like these are some of the best guys in a long time. Like, just even how they talking and seem caring and these gift giving and whatever. Even if somebody is making them do it, they still going ahead and doing it. Where they could be like, nah, that's not me. I'm not going to do. They still doing it. So that's still nice and thoughtful and stuff like that. But yeah, the only person that I'm not really liking, I guess, is Fritz. He's just, ugh. But the rest of them just seem like good guys, and I don't think they want to hurt anybody. And then I also think too that maybe they got schooled too, where they kind of like, you know what, Ready to Love has built like this, what you want to call it, his own little frat. I think you might have called it one time or something, So it's like, you know what, we not gonna be here, but I'ma still ride for you and hold you down, and we gonna grow and kumbaya and watch parties and celebrate later on. So that could be a part of it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Any other thoughts on Angie and Eddie?
Nope.
No.
I don't think there's anybody there for Angie though.
Yeah, we talked about that after Wayne left. And now, okay, so Rose and Fritz go on a date. Seemed like it was going to be a good date. It seemed like it was going to be a good date. I feel like they had something, like they had a spark before. They go on a date, and now she's not compatible because she don't want to compromise.
There's not even any chemistry there.
Right. I mean, and my thing was, two people got mad about hypotheticals. That ain't going to happen anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, in a way, I felt like he was kind of looking out for her.
How?
She mentioned struggling having kids. She said it. She mentioned the multiple miscarriages, right? So he's like, why would I continue to put you through that? But then again, I'm a father. I'm preparing. I'm nesting. I'm also going through it with you. How, and I know this is going to sound bad. I do not mean this in a bad way. How many times would it have to happen for you to say, okay, let's try a different route? And how many times would I also have to go through that before we try a different route? Because we're both losing a child when you miscarry.
Let's see where I want to go with that. I'm not even going to touch it. I'm not even going to touch that.
Okay.
But Rose just need a therapist. She need to get off the show and get a therapist. She just not ready right now. She'll be ready, but she ain't ready right now. It's too many open sores. You know what I mean? It's too much. And then anything that you do, you just gonna have a problem with it. If he goes somewhere, you gonna think he cheating, and then you gonna feel some type of way because you can't have his baby, and then it's just too much. Like, it's just too much.
I think the main thing that I didn't like is just, I don't think you should ever, like, I understand that there's no-go zones or no-go topics, but like, don't tell me that we can't at least have the conversation about something that's gonna affect my life as well.
especially when it wasn't thought out. Like her going against having a surrogate, that made me feel like she was thinking about those movies. You know how the movie where the mom get all attached to the baby and all of that stuff? Like that's what it was giving me. It was just creepy. Like it was just like,
Yeah, I understand having the pains and growing with your child and all that, and
but she didn't want that, but then she would adopt. That doesn't make any sense.
yeah, I mean, I had a cousin that's a surrogate, and I mean, it did not stop the parents from growing close with their kids. But to each his own. I'm not saying that she shouldn't feel the way that she feels, but to really, really be that firm on the thought of carrying her own child, knowing what it has already done to her, it's a lot to continue to ask your man to possibly get into that, knowing that it's going to possibly hurt her. As the man, I want to protect you. So
You know,
me trying could actually be hurting you.
can I? I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
go ahead and say what I gotta say.
Go
It's
ahead.
gonna be bad and people gonna hate me, but I'm gonna say it. Like I believe in God, right? And I believe in God don't make mistakes. So now I'm kind of confused because you had these babies that were miscarriages, but then you also had men that cheated. So is it that it was actually a blessing? Like I mean, I understand mourning the loss of a child, but then maybe God just didn't have that in the books for you. You know what I mean? And that's not to say that when you actually find the right one that you won't be blessed with a child and actually could carry it to term because that was the one that was supposed to make it. But if you have everybody that's cheating on you and then you probably stressing out yourself with that same nonsense too, like it's kind of like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
that
no
was
nice
pretty
thing to
bad
say.
because it
And I'm
worked.
and I'm and
I'm
I can
only
say
be,
this. I'm
only
not
because it
being
works the
hard.
other way as well. Not to cut you off, but it works the other way as well when it's not wanted and the guy just takes it and then still gets you pregnant. Like, do we still say that that's what God wanted for you? But I don't want to go get too deep
Yeah, and
into
and
that.
it's a case by case situation. Like I'm not saying like don't use that for every miscarriage in the world. I'm not saying that. I'm speaking about from what we know of her because she said every man has cheated, but then she's had these miscarriages. So then it's almost kind of like they kind of working hand in hand in a sense to me. You know.
But I mean, it would be good to know more. It could have been by the one person that she really wanted it with, and it just happened 3 or 4 times with the same person.
Right. And just a little disclaimer. I mean, I've lost a child too, so I'm not heartless. I'm not. I understand the effects that it has on a woman and everything, and I understand it. But at the same time, the fact that I do believe God, and I got two that is alive, so I kind of look at it like that one. It just, I guess it just wasn't meant to be. What's that? Oh, that was a nice date. I did like that. That's what
I
I'm
thought it
saying.
was
Like
good.
Yeah, that
Philly,
looked like
Philly
that was fun.
actually, Philly actually seemed like they had decent dates.
Yeah.
Everybody else, the other dates I remember seemed like everybody was eating. Well, Dallas, I think Dallas got a little physical, horseback riding and stuff. Yeah, Dallas
Yeah.
got a little. Okay,
Um. Any other thoughts on Rose and Fritz?
I just don't see a connection here. I think people only reason
Yeah,
why
that's a
Fritz.
no.
I feel like people only are thinking about Fritz because he's supposed to have a bag. Other than that, if he didn't have any money, if he came on the show and said that he was living in a room and he didn't have any money and no car, they wouldn't even pay attention to him.
Good. Well, you see
What do you think?
that. Who's that for?
Would you date him, Lex?
No, even
Oh,
with
okay.
the money, nope.
Okay. So that's it on Rose and Fritz. P.O., you got anything?
Nah, I know this is just a wrap.
Okay. All right. So we got Cisco and Tay again. So she apologized for being distant, but is still considered in the future. She opened up about trust and her father abandoning her at a young age. Cisco mentioned something very similar, and he mentioned his father passing at 27, and they seemed like they was solidifying, a connection. I think this is my thoughts. I think because it was initially rooted in doubt, it's gonna be real hard for that to go away.
Yep, exactly. Which,
It's gonna be
but I
tough.
love how they try to do that when and how they're now introducing Naim into the ballpark. You feel me?
Can you elaborate some more on the doubt and like what?
Because
You said
she initially doubted him from the very first words out of his mouth. So any type of slip up, any type of let's just say he have a bad month or two, she gonna struggle.
was that doubt though? That wasn't doubt.
It was her
All
instinct. It was her instinct kicking in.
okay. What's up with Khalil? Is he even going on any dates?
Yeah, I mean, I just think they just didn't have time for everybody. So you can see they shortened up some of the dates. They just didn't have time to put it all in, especially if they're gonna show the other half of the block party.
Oh, he seems pretty boring though. The only thing he had was the thing in the block party, the test. But I think he would be a better fit with Rose than Fritz.
Okay.
I like
Any?
Tay and this guy.
Huh? You what?
I like Tay and Cisco.
Why?
They just I don't know, just the energy. They just look like it's gonna be a thing. Even if it's not a full blown relationship, it's definitely gonna be a situationship.
What you think, Paul?
And I think he's more
You
into
muted.
her. I think he's more into her than he is the other girl, even though he might smash the other one. But
I think that she is his safety for continuing his mission, which may not be, for what the intended purposes of the show is. So, I mean, like, this may be a safe thing to getting to the end, but I don't know that, this is going to be something that afterwards that's going to last for him, because now he's got this certain exposure and, things of that nature. They don't ride off into the sunset and be married and Clifton enjoy it, is what I'm saying, basically.
oh yeah, no, yeah, but it'll be a nice little situationship. Couple months.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is, for him, like, for example, there's a grocery aisle and you see all of the fruit. Some fruit is rotten, some is soft and squishy, and then you get some that's perfect for, the dish. And you take home what you feel is ripe and perfect, and you leave everything else behind.
Okay.
Simple as that. So, yeah. I mean, I like Cisco though,
Okay.
Lex, do you have any older brothers? Do you have any brothers at all?
I do, yeah.
What a minute.
Huh?
Older or younger?
Are they here?
Oh, I'm the baby of 7. They're here, yeah. I was raised by my
Oh.
father, and I got 3 older brothers.
Okay.
But they older. Like I was a oops baby, so like my oldest brother is like 65.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
was me. I was the oops.
So
Yeah.
you didn't really get a chance to see them hunt.
Um, no, not particularly. My old, I have two that are saved, so they were in the church and they just got married. They did it the church way, found a good Christian wife and settled down. And then the oldest one, he's a dread, so yeah, I've seen it. But we
Okay.
Jamaican too, so our things are a little bit different. You know what I mean? So, and then with Americans, like, y'all stuff is different, but then it also changes every year in a sense, like, what people do as far as they dating and this and that and all that. But yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm still going to analyze it. Like when I analyze it, I do psychological, I do, and then at the same time, yeah, it'll be some intuition and some, I'm still a female, so I'm still going to give the female perspective on things, you know?
No
So.
doubt.
Mm-hmm. Cool. 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 Any thoughts on the Cisco and Tay date?
Nope.
Nope.
All right. So we're in the ladies' vault. And it is kind of messy. There's some clearly what's happening in the vault is not staying in the vault. But we'll get to that. So these are some of my notes. I said there was a lot of that was cut out. Like you could really tell it was cut out. The ladies are getting a little hot about some things. Um, Sometimes in the ladies' vault, you can tell who's friends and who's not, and it's starting to show. Um, Shanice admits to being naked, and what was my last thing? My last line. How does Sahara know what Fritz was saying? This is the
Cam.
third week we're asking that. So is
But that wasn't
somebody
from the
pillow
lady.
talking? Is
That
somebody
was
talking in the
Cam.
date?
You don't
Okay.
think that was? Why wouldn't Cam just tell her?
It's getting back to her. So from either Cam or someone
Pillow
telling
talk.
their lady or their connection what's going on in the vault, and then their connections friends with Sahara. Either way, it's getting back to her,
I think
line
it
by
was.
line, bar for bar.
I think it was Cam, especially because Cam felt like he was hot and he checked him. You know what I mean? So I think he went right back and told
Okay, I can see
Cam.
that.
Don't look. Yeah, he don't look like he's keeping no secrets or none of that. And he looked like he feel like he owes her something.
Okay. The ladies vault was quick. Basically,
It was
they
really
gotta,
quick.
yeah, it was quick. They gotta do some dates, and for the dates, we got Fritz and Sahara, and Rose and Eddie. On the Fritz and Sahara date, uh, I said, she good. These are my notes. I said, she good. I said, a star, and just setting him up for the kill. And I said, the audio editing is terrible because that was not the entire convo. It just seemed like either it was in reverse or random repeat, but you could tell Fritz was not having the same conversation Sahara was having.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I would like to one day watch how you watch the show because it's very interesting to me. Um, and I would love for you to point out, like right there, you see it right there, like what I mean. I need that. But what I got from it, from just like a bad eye view, I guess. Um, what I got from it is that I feel like Fritz is just over Sahara. He just doesn't like her, and I think he's just over her. So whatever was seen, whatever showed, I think at this point he just ain't care. What's happening there? Okay. Yeah, I just feel like he's just over it. Especially with her attitude and stuff. But you know what's so funny? You guys never talked about how Fritz doesn't like getting challenged from any of the women. Like he doesn't like, he like zero kickback. If anybody's supposed to be kind of like that, oh, I need a maid or a male chauvinist or whatever the case may be, or however, I don't really use the labels, but it would be him. He has a problem. He doesn't want you to say nothing. It's kind of like bow down to me and just listen to what I say or do or whatever.
How do you get that?
From different interactions. Like every time somebody says something to him, it's like he kind of buck, like, oh, like, I just picked it up over different things, not just this, but it's just different things that they say to him, where he kind of just shut him down. Like he don't want to hear it. He's like, I don't think he has high emotional intelligence. Something going on with him. No.
I think he was just trying to get through this date without going home.
Right, but I'm not talking about this date. I'm talking about
just in general.
Ones, like, different ones. If you go back and play the dates where the women are saying something and they be like, well, you said you wanted this, or you said this, you know what I mean? He like, it's kind of like, don't question me. I don't remember because I don't really care for him, so I don't study it. But, he does, every time somebody says something, he has this funny thing, but, it's whatever.
Yeah, I think the only thing we brought up was the poly stuff, because that's the stuff that keeps coming up. His date with Shenise was cool. And it's every other time that we've seen him has been with Sahara. So he's probably like, why am I with Sahara again?
Yeah,
probably the same thing she's thinking when Cam shows up. Like, why am I here again? But I feel like he's still trying to be a gentleman, still trying to get through this date. But for what you were talking about, he's probably like, why are you still asking me about that? And even in this date, he said that was 3 weeks ago.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a dead horse at this point. I think all of it's a dead horse. Like, I lied to you not. Like, it's funny because, again, before the break, I was all into it. Now that we talking about it, I'm like, shit, they might have just dead it. Like, I'm just over it at this point. I don't even care. I ain't none of y'all going home with nobody.
Yeah, I think she was ready to send him home. I feel like the way that she was talking to him, she was letting him set himself up. Yeah, she was letting him set himself up. And he did it too. Like he said there's a few things that he shouldn't have said. And then he apologized for some reason at the end, and that was weird. Like, what are you apologizing for? He said, I'm sorry, Sahara. Huh?
What shouldn't he have said?
She mentioned something about playing, and then I think he openly admitted for the first 2 weeks or something.
But I mean, is that not a thing? Is that not, like, to me, if somebody said that, like, oh, I wasn't really taking that serious, but then when I got here, I found somebody who sparked my interest, or, I saw everybody else was taking it serious, so I decided to take it serious. Like, is that's a negative thing?
Yeah, you don't want to walk into it knowing that you're wasting people's time.
Yeah, but I mean, it's TV. A lot of people, I feel like, when you sit down and you think about it, there's always that underlying question: are they here for for what's real, or are they here for TV?
Okay, so even if you aren't there to date anyone, you still give someone else the opportunity to show who they are on your date.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot be attracted to you, but I can help you be a star for the show or for yourself.
So what
But
now?
if I'm just playing around, then now they're wasting their time.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I was him and I seen a girl pop up on my show with 2 pigtails, you think I'm gonna take this show serious? Like, what the hell is she doing here? She's a whole character.
Oh, you're letting that. I don't know why you be letting that get to you.
What you mean? She has pigtails.
What does that have to do with who she is as a person?
What? Are you walking down the street with a girl with 2 big bubbles in her hair as a grown woman and a whole neck tattoo? Like, come on. What are you talking about
do you remember Aisha? You remember all of Aisha's hairstyles? Aisha's entire body is tatted. She's one of the nicest people you ever met.
I don't recall Aisha, but she was the one that was pregnant during this season, right?
No, Aisha was from New York.
What Aisha? Who we talking about? What Aisha?
She ended up with Dante, and she ended up with Dante.
Oh, that Aisha. Yeah, but she still carried herself like a grown woman. She didn't show up like Pippi Longstocking. Like, there's still a look.
Do you
like,
know how much on set, how often we have to remind her, hey, Aisha, your breast popped out again. And she would just be like, oh, okay. Like, and that was one of my things. Like, we went in judging because she had this exterior, she had this accent from New York, you know, and that's part of the process.
She's still not giving. Okay, I'm gonna say this. She's still not giving what Sahara gave, right? But then at the same time, she still what she still gave. Did she get a ring? Was she ready to love? Did she walk off in the sunset with anybody?
Right.
Because even right now, you know, she put up on her wall that she had somebody and she never showed her face, and you know, she had a ring and this and the other, and now I don't see anything of this guy. You know what I mean? So
I mean, you know, them people that be having the pigtails and all that.
Despite that,
they might carry that fire, and
she still got dudes fighting. Yeah, fighting for her. She still got dudes fighting for her.
Aisha?
Sahara.
Who's fighting for her? Cam? Cam is low vibration.
Okay. Cam
don't even understand his stuff. No, I mean, no. There's a time when you have to look at it and be like, okay, listen. Your mental health takes, like, you know what I mean? It comes in there somewhere. And I feel like that's what he is doing with Sahara. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I don't think that Cam really understands himself. I feel like, you know, I'm just saying. But whatever. I'm telling you, Cam ain't marrying Sahara.
I'm not saying that. I think what I'm just saying is sometimes it's not about the aesthetics.
Mm-hmm. That's
sometimes
true.
It might just be who gonna hide your stick.
I mean,
okay. You right.
That could
be. You know, like
you're right.
You see, cool. You know, a lot of people sometimes they just be bonding over stupid stuff. Like, oh, you smoke? Oh, I smoke. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where they at now. Like,
I got trees.
You know, that's it.
I got some trees.
Yeah.
So we good on Fritz and Sahara.
We are so good on Fritz. So okay. Fritz went bye-bye, right? Or are they going to stay there?
We didn't say it's it didn't say. What about Eddie and Rose?
No, it's a no for me, dog.
What do I have? Do I have any notes? Yeah. So I only have one bullet, and it just said Eddie needs to mature a bit, and he still has some learning.
I mean, when I was in my 30s, I think my early 30s, like he's just now basically getting out of his 20s.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel like in my early or my late 20s, I was still, you know, getting it up.
Yeah, you can see it.
You know what I mean?
You can see it because I can. You know, I can. Yeah. I can get up, still run 2-3 miles the next morning.
Yeah.
You know.
They want him They want him to act like he's, you know, 59 years old or something. Like, put the liquor down. Your diabetes is getting to you.
Yeah. And if you got an issue, bring it up with Tipsy Ty, not me.
Right.
Next time you see Tipsy Ty, you tell him.
Exactly. There it is.
I want to be Tipsy Ty. Listen.
Words. Man, I don't know if I could go back.
Do y'all have any predictions? Sorry.
Yeah, I was getting there. So they left it on the cliffhanger. They do not know who is coming back, but what I could try to do is, I always keep the clips on the back end, right? I piece it all together, and my software has like auto tagging, so I can tag a clip, put in some names, and then I'm able to drag and drop and get every clip anyone has ever done and just watch it.
Oh, did you see Eddie at the house? I don't remember seeing Eddie at the house.
No, he wasn't at the house.
Right.
Sorry about that. All right, so this is next week. Let's just catch it. I don't know how many times I can.
Not next week.
Next time.
Next summer.
Time.
Summertime.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is Angie's. Do I need to go back? So this is how I do it. I go frame by frame, right? I go frame by frame, see who's in the lounge. Naim's definitely in the lounge. Jay's in the lounge. Cam, Cisco, Hussein, all in the lounge.
Dad, Tommy got those horse teeth at the bottom now?
Yeah. We have so we know Angie makes it. And because we're meeting the exes,
right,
it's looking like Angie and Hussein may be a connection.
Nope.
Huh?
But
no,
so Paul, I know what you're gonna say, Paul. I know what you're gonna say.
What?
Or maybe not.
Real.
Maybe not. Or maybe because they didn't have a ladies elimination at this point. So Angie gets a date.
But Angie's the one who gave the gift to him for his child, right? Remember the son? She gave like a little keychain for the son.
Mm-hmm.
Was that was Hussein, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just double checking.
Okay. Boom. Bam.
See? He should have never wrote his name
Cisco
on
meeting the ex, marking his territory. So we got this going on. But this is where they say he messes up and mentions how beautiful Tay is at the date. And even the ex is like, what's Tay? Even the ex said, what does Tay look like? All right. So that's that.
I don't think he finds her attractive. No comment? What?
That's subjective. Like, what do you mean?
Especially if he gonna mention how beautiful Tay is, I think that means he's not even he like, I'll fuck you, but ain't nothing else with you. Like, he's not attracted to her.
Okay.
Because I mean, why else would you bring? I've never heard anything like that. I've never heard anybody gonna turn around and be like, another woman is beautiful right in front of who you supposed to be with. Like, what?
Yeah.
And then you said it with so much emphasis that even the ex had to ask, like, well, damn, what's he look like?
Well.
So Jay and Kiara, right?
How about I know that guy? I almost died seeing him on camera. I'm like, oh shit. And it's so funny. I know a few of the exes, but it's so weird that I know the exes, but I don't know the actual people in the cast. That's kind of weird to me. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
That guy was
So,
OD. He kind of like it was weird because he kept calling her a crush, but that's supposed to be your ex. And I don't think that he knew his role was to be a ex because I think he is a crush. You know, so that was weird. Like I don't even know
yeah,
what was that.
he didn't know the assignment.
Yeah.
He messed that up. Um, so here's the sad part, right? Um, I'm going to give my just kind of my overall of what I've seen from 1 to 6. One is very sad that Philly has to be a part of the disruption for the 3 month or whatever hiatus that they're taking. Especially for people like Cisco that probably wants to use this as a platform to propel his career, because now this gives everybody that's seen you thus far a good opportunity to forget about who you were. Secondly, the viewership is going to plummet because, again, this is one of those seasons where you don't have a whole lot of people that's invested into it, particularly one because they took too much of a long break between seasons, and then two, when they came back, there's not that same thunder or excitement of wanting to get in front of the TV on Friday. And unfortunately, this happened to a group of decent people, and they probably were excited that they finally did get an air date and all of that other stuff, only to say that oh, they jacked us off by only playing half now and then giving up the other half later on in the year. Um, you know, that just tells me that this franchise is a dumpster fire, just going at 100 miles an hour, right? And that there is no way, shape, or form for this franchise to reinvent itself. I mean, they tried it with the Zadia Sharice, put on what was it, whatever that was, the spinoff franchise, and that didn't work. And they were throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. Unfortunately for them, in this case, none of this stuff has stuck. So what did stick though is the fact that it's been going downhill since uh, since
Dallas.
DC. So yeah, right. Those are my views. Exactly. So 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 right. These are totally my views, and I'm fine with that. I'll own all of this stuff. So so unfortunately, the timer is on, and the oven's going to pop, and the product is going to stink when it comes out. Meaning, at the end of the day, um, you know, we're our time is not being valued as a viewer. The end.
Well, it is being valued because guess what? You can watch the Never Ever Met April 4th in that time slot. So we do value you and we appreciate you. So go ahead and keep on spin. Don't cancel the subscription just yet. Because your girl is going to be on the Never Ever Met.
Right. Oh man.
Oh no.
So yeah, sorry, Philadelphia. Y'all didn't y'all didn't get y'all fair shake in this stuff, man, and it does suck that they're gonna divide up the season like that. It really is. It actually, I was disappointed that they would pull that, but like I said, I feel like they didn't get the numbers, and they're trying to grow the numbers in the meantime by putting on the Never Evers, and hopefully that slot will gain the attention to then be taken over by RTL. But You know, it is what it is. And like I said, Detroit will be on Zeus Network.
I ain't gonna lie, as somebody who invested so much time, I would definitely hate to see it go. You know, I do know it is getting worse. You know, and I know it's probably getting harder to find people. I feel like what really messed this up was kind of like I just think production was doing too much. You know, and I don't know why they picked these cities. Like I don't know Philly. Anybody knows Philly wasn't ready for nothing like this. Philly and Detroit, like they both struggling and like no, they definitely should have did that. So I feel like they already wrote the what you call it, the check or whatever, the cancellation check just by picking Philly and Detroit.
So Tyrone, can you blow me up on the screen because I want to make one statement. Just make it all me real quick.
He gonna say the sorts of electoral.
Hello, everybody. I am speaking to the OWN Network and the Ready to Love franchise directly. I think that the time has come where the host needs to be replaced and you guys need a different spark. And that's why I am willing to negotiate terms and agreement of some sort of contract to where I can take over as the host and I will bring the spark and the flame that everybody deserves. If you don't take me up on this offer, well, I'll let the fire department deal with it. Done. Thank you, sir.
You.
Jesus. The views and opinions expressed by PO are those of PO and PO only.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, I do think that there are some things that you can do. I have some ideas. One of my ideas is to have former cast members be a coach and really curate a relationship. You know, help people go through it and get some really good connections out of it. The other thing is that I think that instead of having the initial 20 people, I think it should be 2 separate sessions. You should have 10 women and 20 guys in one session. And then those 10 women pick out their favorite one guy. And then do the same thing for the men. Have 10 men, 20 women. You pick out your one person and ride it out. See how that go. But everybody still gets to date everybody. That way, there ain't no reason why you shouldn't have at least one connection because you specifically picked out that person. And if multiple people pick out the same person, boom, that's on you. That's who gets to stay.
Yeah.
And let's see how that go.
I feel like they should bring back how they did the resort season. Y'all go into a house and work it out.
They don't. Well, first
Yeah,
off,
that's too much. It's expensive. It's too much. And we stuck. So now I'm stuck with you. Like I have no choice but to live with you. Like I got a job. I still gotta make a living.
And
I don't even like you that much.
That'll produce too much fake result.
Too much what? Fake result?
Yeah, because people will come together and be like, yo, man. I mean, they do it already, but, you know, when you're in close quarters and all that stuff, you're really doing it.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if it's the people who are casting or, you know, the people that are applying. But I think something needs to change there because there's some things that I see that are just very clear that shouldn't happen. But I don't know where they're trying to go with the show. Are they trying to go for connections or entertainment?
I'm telling you, I alone can fix this.
Hey,
It
I'm gonna
just
show you how I break down. I'm gonna show you how I break down this. So I'm not using the software. I'm just gonna pause. What was this in? At the end of this episode, they kind of tell us what's gonna go on. I did want to do a breakdown of like a mid-season breakdown, but it's all coming up. So we saw Hussein, we saw Cisco, we're seeing tears. I am not sure what the tears are for.
in the ladies' lounge, right?
Right here, the sound is not up. They are in the lounge. So Cisco and Tay made it to the house. In some of these clips, you can actually see production and sound crew in background. So it's
Right
kind
there,
of
yeah.
it's kind of it's kind of
Get out of
tough.
here.
So we got Jay, Cisco, Hussein, Tay, Angie, Kiara, and that looks like Cam right there. So that's 7 people we already know made it to the house. Could this be Naim's shirt? Nope, that's Khalil right there. So Khalil makes it to the house. Bam. Angie,
You know,
Rose, Hussein, Tay, Kiara in the house. Kiara look a little bit tipsy or mad, one of the two right now.
No,
they did a thing here that was like put a lap dance on your favorite connect or whatever. I didn't recognize that belly. Whose belly is that? Fritz?
What are you talking about? That was Tay and Cisco.
The person when she said do I thought it was
Who else would it be?
I don't know. He just has a belly here, so I just
that
didn't
is
know.
Cisco.
You don't. Cisco has a belly.
He was eating.
He is a former amateur bodybuilder.
I
He's
just
gonna
didn't
have a
think
belly.
I didn't think he had it. I was just like, what the hell? Whose belly is that?
Yeah.
But now that you slow it down, I can see it's Cisco. But when it first showed, I was like, whose big ass belly is that? Oh, my fault. All right.
So
Yeah, all of this just looks like I don't even know. Throw the whole season away.
So, Hussein, I'm hoping this is progress.
He's in the house. That's what I said.
I'm hoping this is progress.
This is the defect right here.
Because
This is where
clearly Rose can see the connection between Sarah and Cam by now because they can't hide. They're in the house.
Right. And,
so this where it's about to get funky.
Yeah.
So I didn't
this,
see Sahara in the house. You see that? I didn't see.
they didn't show her in the house, but I did. You know, they do show one of the dates with her and Cam, and it looks like it's the post-house solidification date.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she showed up late like Tina.
Yeah.
Who, Rose? I mean, Sahara?
Yeah.
No, she's in there. This her in the house right now.
No, I know, but you know, I think you showed a thing where they were like all walking down together and stuff.
So I think it's just innocent. I think it's just an innocent connection between Jay and Sahara. But Jay probably took it too far. And then also we don't know how the X date went with them.
That's what I was gonna say. I think
so
it's
this gonna be interesting.
I think he done off for her.
Dianna's in the house. Boom.
Yeah.
Who's she in here with? Khalil?
I don't know, but this ain't going good for Jay.
It ain't going good for none of us.
All right, so that's why I enjoy the group sessions because you can't hide and there's a lot you get to analyze, and because my mental makeup, I actually enjoy it. It's so much there. So I don't know if y'all know, but for our pool party, I strategically chose to cook because if I could cook, it's like being in the sniper tower. I get to see everything.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that you got. If it does go off the air, that's something you should do is go back and analyze all of the Ready to Love start from one.
This looks like a breakup date. This looks like Cam not
Yeah.
knowing how to be honest. If I was the
Well,
guest,
and then they also make you end it. They say, go to so and so, and you tell them it's a wrap.
see,
And
what was you saying, Lex?
he's saying it's a wrap right here.
Well, what
Yeah,
you see something different?
it's it's a bit much, but hey,
Well, what you mean it's a bit much? What part? Because this looked like a breakup.
Mm-hmm.
you ain't see the hand holding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but that's
nice.
the
You
gentle
keep
touch.
you
That's the
just
gentleman's
keep
touch.
you just gonna continue to
I mean,
make excuses for
what
the
you want
people
me to
that you
say?
like. That's what I'm
They
getting.
all they all giving out gifts and flowers and shit. They all holding hands just to be nice. They want to
At
be the
what point do
gentleman.
you establish boundaries, though?
But I feel like if you just saying, hey, I just, my connection is stronger with Tay, we just got something and you're a beautiful woman, but, I just, it's just,
Okay,
then she gonna snatch back her hand now and be like, well, what do you mean? Like, you wrote on me and you signed me your name and, ownership and stuff.
but can he do that without holding a hand?
He could, but I mean, it makes for TV.
Okay,
It do. It make him seem like a gentleman. Look,
okay.
they paint him as a Casanova. I'm telling you, this guy, it was Mike Bless, Clifton, even though they had different personalities, Mike Bless
We've
took
seen
care of
that
this
hug
guy.
before. Yeah. All right. I think we'll be honest.
What? Yeah.
This is either Angie
That's
or Kiara, huh?
that walk right there, that's Tay.
You
No?
think that's Tay?
I thought that was Tay.
Okay.
The person looks short. That's
Cisco.
That's
Jay.
no, that ain't Jay.
What?
That look like what's his face?
Cisco.
Firefighter. The firefighter dude.
Cam? Oh.
Yeah.
Kiara.
I don't know. That person kind of big.
I think we've seen that watch before.
Yeah.
Kiara.
Oh, that's
Nah,
Tay.
I think this
that's
is
Cam. That's Cam.
this is Cam, but I think this is
that's
promo.
Cam.
I think this is promo stuff, though.
You don't
This
think
is
that's
totally
Sahara?
different. I don't think
No,
this is
that's
the finale. I
no.
think this is
Yes, it is.
promo.
Yes, it is, bro. No, this is after the fact because he gave him the flowers and it's over.
That's Cisco.
That's Cisco.
No.
Bro, I think they're trying to mix in the promo shots and the finale.
No, but they never gave flowers in the promo shots ever. They don't pay for that.
Then what is this? Oh, I can't. I'm using the wrong one.
Yeah, you mean the one at the beginning?
Oh, you know what, Ty? Did you get the Never Ever Met commercial while you was doing this? They slipped in a new commercial. Any chance you saw
Bro,
it?
this is one of them is definitely a promo shot, man. The one with Shenise is a promo shot.
Not with the flowers. Yeah, that's not promo. That's After Effects. That's after.
I think that's Sahara.
You think
that is.
so? You saying Cam wore this to the finale?
Yeah.
He wore that outfit to the finale?
Yeah.
Why are you judging the looks? The looks don't mean nothing. You can have tattoos all over your face.
Pause right there. I'll tell
With
you
all
right
them
now.
people in the background, they right in the
Listen,
middle of the street, man.
But this is what I'm getting ready to tell you. They would never have people in the background in a promo, ever.
Bro,
That's
they do
number
it all.
one. They would never have
know.
people in the back. They would never have people in the background on a promo. This is after the fact. This is like either going to or coming from.
Yeah, this is OD. I never seen people on the street
So
before.
you saying that this is the walk-in to the finale?
Yep. So
what's this?
Wait. So that wasn't
These
Sahara.
are promo shots, man. You could tell by the background.
Oh, this is a
No.
promo shot. This ain't a walk, but they don't have no flowers. This is a
So what's
promo shot.
this? So what's this?
This right here is
Okay.
Cisco and Tay.
Yeah, they're mixing in promo shots with the finale.
That ain't a promo. This is a finale.
So if they have flowers, it's finale.
Yep. They never never give props. They never use props in the promo. They never use a prop in a promo. You go do your homework and look at all of them. They never did.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of touchy-feely stuff.
Yeah, it's never props.
Bunch of touchy-feely.
You know what? That person could have been Rose. Because I think Rose changed up her hair.
Rose and Hussein?
Rose.
With skinny legs? Nah, that would have been like a size 15 shoe.
Not Hussein. No, I don't think it was Hussein. That wasn't Rose and Cam. It was Rose and Cam.
We're going to have to analyze it. I'm going to go back and see if where I seen that watch before.
No, the green one with the orange flowers, that's the one we talking about.
Woo. Okay.
Not the white.
Yo, we done went for 3 hours and 15 minutes, y'all. Anybody that's still with us right now, I really, really appreciate y'all. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're gonna do the Never Ever Mets.
Yeah.
First week of April, right? And I'm gonna keep it real rap raw. And this is what I want to do. I want you to analyze my ability to predict what's going on, Lex, because you was there, right?
Yeah, but they edited it, right?
There. Huh?
Yeah, but they edited up.
Okay, and I have no idea what's going on. Only person I know from the show is you, and you ain't tell me nothing.
I can't.
So we're gonna see. We're gonna test my ability to analyze.
There you go.
Lex, would you like to close out?
Hey y'all, it's your girl Lex Royal. Check me out April 4th on the Never Ever Met. I don't know what they going to show. Believe half of what you see.
She prepping y'all.
And maybe all of what you hear. I'm just saying, but you know what? I took this opportunity to be the voice in between the two. So y'all definitely know if I say it is true. The girl.
All right. Well, you already know who it is. But what I want y'all to do is one favor. If you see this, if you watch this on Rewind, just go to my website, check it out. If you get anything off of there, that's cool, because one small purchase, even if it's $1, it gives us life, and it lets us know that that the mission is being accomplished. So I'll let you board.
Why you ain't posting it in the group?
Oh,
Indeed.
You know what?
Post that P. Taylor Lux. I actually wore my dark blue one last night. I mean, this weekend, Paul.
Okay, that's what's up. How you like the fabric?
I'm telling you, the Paul's shirts make me feel athletic again. Make me feel youthful and snug. It's nice.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's got the good length right there on the arms. I get the flex.
Yes, sir.
A little bit. Walk with my shoulders back. You know.
No doubt.
Got the elegant design.
Yes,
Make
sir.
you feel like you got money in your pocket. You know.
Yeah, thank you for rocking it, brother. Appreciate it. For sure.
Thank you all for coming. No, for real. Looks like we're gonna take a break from the show. So if we post anything up until the time that the show starts again, it'll probably just be breakdowns or mini snippets on, what I think is going on. We will definitely announce the panel for the Never Ever Mets. That is going to be fun.
Absolutely.
That is gonna be fun.
Wait, so
I
it's gonna
want,
be a different panel?
yeah, it'll be a Never Ever Mets panel, different playlists, everything. Um, you think it should be something different?
I don't know. I don't know. Who's
Oh,
gonna
okay.
be?
Whoever else wants to chime in on the show. So if there's any folks in the audience right now, hit me up on Instagram, and we're
What
gonna draw.
happened?
Go ahead.
What happened to the other young lady that was doing the show with when I first started? She left because I came on.
I don't know. I don't know. We haven't talked.
Mm.
We haven't talked.
I know it'd be
But
a
yeah.
lot of cast members that be feeling some type of way about me. I don't know if she one of them. I'm just saying. That's why I asked.
Well, hey, wait till you on the screen.
And I'm already getting smoked.
Wait till you on the screen and they get to review you.
I'm with
Boy.
it.
I'm gonna have Rocky and Tay come on.
Rocky and Fritz. You gotta get Fritz.
Okay.
I like Tay. Get Fritz.
Yeah, no, Rocky and who was it? Who was the other person?
Sahara.
Sahara, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
Thank you all again. Have a really good night, everyone. And thanks for sticking with us.
Yes.
All right, y'all.
Thanks, y'all. Bye bye.
All right.
Be safe.